I see. I see. I have seen everything. And I can now say with confidence that you are small. Case closed. Thank you. Hello! Why are you so close? I'm observing the specimen, aka you. Me when I vacuum. Wait, does your vacuum sound like that? You know, if it was like... I'll get it. But I didn't say it like that, did I? Maybe you have a very special vacuum, who knows? That was a way to start a stream. Yeah! Never let them know your next beginning of the stream. That's microwave or beep. I'm very intrigued by your vacuum. Feel free to one day send a recording of it. I'm curious. I want to hear it. Because my vacuum does not sound like what you said yours does. And I'm very intrigued. I love to hear more about vacuums. My new passion is right there, everyone. Hello, everyone! Welcome! It's been a little bit. It's a little handheld, so it's weird. Oh. I don't grasp how it works. But cool. I'm more used to the regular ones, I guess. It's been a while. Yes, drop your bean right now. Bean offerings, please. 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 You know, instead of having the daily... instead of having the daily tea, I should have been like daily bean tax. And then you give me a random bean. And then I could have put like all sorts of beans. Why did I not think of that earlier? That could have worked so well. Because there are so many kinds. There are cacao beans, there are coffee beans, there are beans, there are like jelly beans, thank you. There are toe beans, there are so many. But well, it's too late now. It's okay. It's okay. That's an idea that someone else can use instead. Hi! I have moved. And so now I can use my model with the new rig again. Yay! But there's a bit of a delay sometimes. Which I think is more due to the net here. But it's okay. Be right back, gonna check what kind of beans I have in my house. I will be waiting for your bean report later on. Thank you. Also, question for you guys. Is the audio okay? Is the volume of the background music okay? Because I also had to change some stuff there. And the mic setup and everything. And so now I don't remember how things were supposed to be anymore. Stronger computer but worse internet, never perfect. It's true. One day I will want to move this current computer to the other place. And then by the time it happens, I will be unstoppable. Maybe. Background music is a bit quiet. Okay, that's what I was thinking actually. Let me increase that. Okay, how about now? Is it still too quiet? Is it good? Is it loud? I count on you guys to tell me because I can't hear it. Sounds good. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let us greet everyone like polite individuals. But first, I'm gonna be here. No, I'm gonna be here. No, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here. Here. Okay. Perfect. So, welcome everyone. I'm scrolling up right now. Okay, so in order, on starting with Twitch though, because I can't like look at both at the same time. Hello, Mito, welcome. Hello, Binary, welcome. Hello, Vonnie, welcome. Hello, Uh... Hello, Beto. Wait, I already greeted you. I just saw what happened in the motivation. Hello, Alex. Welcome. Hello, Blockskip. Welcome. Hello, Double Chocolate Chip. Welcome. Hello, Silence. Welcome. Hello, Harrisliv. Welcome. Hello, Arknoid. Welcome. Hello, Dark Wolf Flames. Welcome. Hello, Lesko. Welcome. Hello, Place, welcome. Hello, Sponzy, welcome. Hello, Tuna, welcome. Hello, Sickad, welcome. Did I remember everyone? Hello, Renbull, welcome. Hello, Sandpaper Dragons, welcome. Okay, and on the YouTube side, a lot of early messages. Hello, Mugi that was lurking at 5 AM. Damn. Mr. 45 as always. Writing. I imagine Moonlight Academy will have those anime delinquents. The ones with biker jackets, mask, bats, and spiky hair. They look like a rough crowd, I guess, but they're secretly the most wholesome kind. Headcanon just dropped. And hello, Tonka! Also welcome! Alright, hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. Every time I say this, it feels way more serious than it needs to be. Thank you for being here today for this very important day and stream, in which we'll be reviewing some of the... Why am I freezing like this? We'll be reviewing some of the answers people wrote for our monthly survey, which was school themed. Also, happy 100 stream Silence! I did the thing. Now life will be brighter. Congratulations. I'm pretty sure today's review will not take like the full afternoon. So I was planning to do like draw the icon for the Discord role afterwards, and I'm probably gonna have time to also do your little certificate. Congratulations! I don't think my clapping will really be noticeable with the filter I have, but clap, clap, clap! Congratulations! Look forward to your certificate, which if I cannot do it today, it will be tomorrow. And it will be sent on Discord, so you can see it. Thank you for watching the stream for so many times and like such a dedication that made it 100 consecutive streams. I still don't get how you guys do it, but damn. I think the biggest streak I ever had was like 5. Or maybe a week at most, but I feel like most of the streams that I watch, I just can't watch them like too many times in a row because I'm not really on the computer that much outside of streaming. The irony. But that makes me all the more impressed that you guys somehow managed to come and say hi or even just lurk so many times. Thank you for dedicating a bit of your time, or sometimes a lot of your time, on the channel. I really appreciate it. Okay. I was wondering, yeah, maybe we should start by just talking a little bit before reviewing the schedule. I think last time we had a bit of chatting before then, so maybe we should do that first. Sorry if my tracking is a bit weird. I have to get used to it. I have to remember how that works. But I'm glad that now the computer is not like just exploding anymore. Although sometimes it does freeze and it's kind of annoying, but that's not due to that. I wanted to test the waters today, and tomorrow, if the stream goes well in terms of like performance, I'll also be bringing back the Chibi model, so you can finally see Puppy Chi again. I know you all love her very much, so look forward to it. Did I forget something? Probably not. Hi Galzo, welcome! Chichibibi. No, Chichibichi. Whew, wow, this is actually hard to say. Chichibichi. I feel like if you keep saying it, it's like you get it wrong, you know? Like that kind of thing that you have to keep repeating fast and forever. Chichibichi, 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 Chichibichi. Thank you, Layla, for following! Welcome to the stream! I need name tags. Name tags for like me? You need a name tag for my, like, a name tag on like on the side of my shirt that says like my name. It sounds like that one old gym song. To you, to you, to. I don't even know this. No, for Chi. Oh, because you're not familiar with who Chi is, you can actually find information about that character. I have a panel dedicated to her, but she's basically a side card, like, not a side, it feels weird to say a side character, but she's basically another character that I have in my streams that's not exactly me as a person. But she sometimes appears, like I usually have her in the corner of some of my screens in streaming, and there's a panel dedicated to her, so you can check that out and get all the information you need. Also on social media, she's the account that actually shares my stream activities, so that my main one focuses on art and some random crap. Yeah. Neat. Yeah, but I'm not gonna bring her out today unless I feel ambitious, because I think last survey review stream I think we had like we had Chi on the corner, so maybe I can bring her. We'll see. And sometimes Chi provides tech support. Did you just call Chi a side character? I mean, technically it's true, she's not the main character of the stream. She'll be the second main character, but like usually the second main character is not exactly the main character. But side character is kind of like, she's not that side, you know? She's not side minor background character either. Yeah. She is generally on the side of the screen. Exactly! I knew you'd get it, Galzor. Thank God we have people like you around. But yeah. Alright. By the way, I still have my Tamagotchi to take care of. Sorry for the very random disclaimer. It's kind of off topic. My Tamagotchi is getting old. It's like getting old to the point that it loses like energy very often. So I'm probably gonna eventually like pause my very serious presentation to make sure that it doesn't just die. I hope you understand. Supporting role. Old. It's true. It's true, it's true. No disclaimer requires an apology. It's not really for the disclaimer, it's for the fact that I'm randomly bringing up my Tamagotchi. Yeah. It's currently 17-year-old, which, you know, when you think about this, you're like, what do you mean that's old? Well, I guess some people on the internet that will be considered old, because some people start acting like people are gonna turn into ashes the moment they turn like 20 or something. But, yeah, it's starting to require help a bit more frequently, so I don't think it has that much time left, honestly. I don't think I'll be able to. Does it eventually die though? Naturally, I think so, because I think there's a record as to the longest time a Tamagotchi was kept alive, which was 100-ish days, but that was very rare. People on the internet says that if your Tamagotchi lives like 30 days, that's already kind of impressive. I think on average they live more or less around the 20s. But currently this is getting a bit hard. Like, if I don't have my sound on, I think I will potentially miss when it needs like care, and that's a bit tricky. So I do have the sound down, but also sometimes they just die even regardless of how well you take care of them. So I guess there's a bit of a luck factor, question mark. Hopefully we never need to do a Tamagotchi funeral stream. Yeah, I'll be sad. I'm literally just talking about something and suddenly I'm like, no, it's dying. Especially since the dying phase is like, you do kind of get an alert showing that it's currently dying. So you just have time to say goodbye to it and be sad. But at least you can send it off, you know? You can be like, rest well, Tamagotchi, you did well, and all that stuff. Instead of finding out suddenly that it's dead and you couldn't say bye and it died alone. That's kind of sad, you know? So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully you guys don't get to witness that. Hopefully I can send it off myself without, you know, ruining the mood. But we'll see. Maybe if need be I should just put a BR back screen. That is awfully real. Yeah, it's true. We'll see. Tamagotchi cam on the top right. Someone actually said that before, but I can't. It's cameras are so complicated to set up. Are you a bit sick, Luna? Is it because of my nose? Does my sound like, dude, I've been sniffing, have I not? But I'm not really sick. I don't know why. Sometimes talking after a while, for some reason, makes my nose stuffy. I don't know why. It's not the first time that it happens, but I noticed that it often happens when I'm at this place specifically. So I wonder if this is a mix of me yapping the hell out of my life and then being in this specific place with terrible insulation that somehow does something to me. But I don't feel sick. I don't think I'll cough or anything. At worst, I'm just gonna sound a bit more nasally, but don't mind that too much. I'm okay. Thank you for the concern though. Also, Benjamin, welcome! Okay, let's talk about the schedule first. Oh wait, look at my cool mouth. I just realized if I want to do pop sounds, you're gonna see it on my modal tube. POV fish. I don't know if you can hear it. Actually, I feel like I was quiet. Was it detected? Thank you for petting the fish. We can hear it. Imagine with reverb. New stream just dropped. Just me with reverb for no reason at all. Moonfish only comes at night because sunlight causes fire even in the water. That's terrifying. Not even the water is safe from the sun. God. That's awful. Okay, so this time for real. The schedule for real. Okay. Alright, you're not gonna see my beautiful face for a bit, but instead you're gonna see some beautiful art. 3, 2, 1. Boom. So this is the schedule. Featuring Metal's art. Thank you, Metal, again for the drawing. This one is a bit like from a few months ago, actually, but it is fitting. So today we're gonna have our little monthly survey and whatnot. You know how it goes. Well, I'm saying you know how it goes, but I only had it once before, so I'm kind of making a big deal out of it, even though it's not a new thing. Thanks, Metal, like always, for the pretty art. Yay! Metal spoiling us all the time. Tomorrow and the day after I'm gonna have some art streams, just the usual stuff that this time most of you are used to. But for those that may be discovering the channel for the first time, I draw on stream usually, so I'm gonna be working on some art tomorrow and the day after. And on Friday we have the Abyss. I don't even know how to say that out loud, honestly. Abysmer. ABSMR. I don't know. But yeah, basically an ASMR stream with the Luna of the Abyss concept. This is a stream that will not be archived, by the way, so if you miss it, F, I guess, because it won't be, you won't have a VOD for it. Although whenever I have those streams, usually I do allow people to record it, and they can technically upload it in private stuff, just not publicly. So, you know, if someone wants to do that, feel free. But yeah, officially that will be gone after, because the Abyss, I kind of just like the idea of Abyss streams to be, you know, fleeting. You don't really choose when they happen, and you don't really choose to like get them back either. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I know they're kind of like, and archive streams can be sad, so that's why I don't mind them being recorded. But officially I will not have any source for it again. So yeah, so that's gonna be an ASMR Abyss stream. I don't even know what the hell is gonna happen there, honestly. I'm like, this was part of the Sabathon rewards, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? There's no time for this stream compared to the others. There's no specific time, but I will say it's most likely gonna happen in the evening of my time, so later than the rest of the week. The time will be confirmed. I don't even know if it's gonna be confirmed or if it's just gonna be said the day off or just happen randomly. The Abyss is kind of like that, I guess. But yeah, it's probably gonna be a bit late, so I'm not sure all of you will be able to make it. So again, F, unlucky. The Abyss curse is real, I guess. But yeah. You know what? Let me see if I can blow my nose, just in case it can help a bit. Damn, I took a look at my model as I was blowing my nose and I look so sad for some reason. Her eyes are so purple, yeah! Rare Luna sided with the tongue out? Really? I didn't see it! But yeah, oh yeah, by the way, speaking of this rig, I think it's gonna be completed soon, but currently the cat toggle is not gonna be available because I do want some adjustment on the mouth shapes, but I think it's gonna be completed soon, so soon you'll be able to redeem the cat toggle again. She's so shoulder-coated, it's actually true. I'm actually more shoulder-coated in real life than on stream. Believe it or not! I am a different person outside of the computer. You wouldn't even recognize me. Okay, that's kind of a stretch, but I do think I behave quite differently. Just consider me to be Sheldon in real life. Whatever that means. Just assume it's that, okay? But maybe I shouldn't tell you that because then you're gonna recognize me in the street like a celebrity and then my privacy will be gone. So actually forget it. Imagine that I'm Charizard instead. That's actually me. No, Gyarados, that's me. I'm Gyarados. Is that how you pronounce his name? Gyarados? Yeah. Do you have special plans for October? I watch spooky themed movie shows for the month. I don't have a lot planned. I do have a special stream for Halloween. I do have to play a horror game as part of the charity rewards. I guess the Abyss ASMR. I don't know if it really fits in that category. And I do want to create a character with people again. I think this month is a good one for that. Wait a minute, this girl reminds me of Shelder. It must be Luna! No! You can't find out about me! Will be caught by a slowpoke. Well, actually, is it really Shelder is caught by a slowpoke, or rather slowpoke is caught by a Shelder? Because when you think about it, Shelder is the one biting into it, so... But at the same time, you said you catch a fish when the fish is the one, you know, like munching on the hook, so I guess it's... Everything is relative, I guess. If it's something like Vampire or Mothman, it will count. You mean for the game? I don't think it's gonna be a game like that. But, yeah. But just be vibing, honestly. Oh, you mean for the OC? That's not really something that is confirmed. People will have to decide that. We'll see when we get there. Yeah. But I don't have a full month of just like spooky things. Controversially enough, I'm not that... it's not like I'm not into Halloween, but I know some people that really like Halloween is their whole personality. I wouldn't say I'm that enthusiastic about it. Although I think it's cool. But like, you know, to a reasonable extent, I guess. To be honest, I will never talk to a VTuber streamer when I recognize them on the street. It will be way too much stress for both parties, and especially the VTuber. Yes, I agree. I think if you feel like you recognize a VTuber in a setting where they're not supposed to be recognized, like, you know, let's say it's not like literally you know, they're literally living their life. That's just gonna be very uncomfortable for everyone, because, you know, VTubers, it's not, you know, they display themselves a certain way, they usually don't have their full name doxed. Some people don't really mind as much. There are some VTubers that also have like a lot of real life content involved and literally show their faces. Maybe that's a bit different in their case, but especially when privacy is a big thing for them, you will just, yeah, that's just stressful. Good on you for knowing what not to do. Just don't talk to any strangers. Don't talk, period. Stop typing right now. I want the chat to be quiet immediately. Hi, tax evasion. Hello, cookies. Welcome. Did I miss anything? You mean? I don't know. We just started catching up, but I don't think we really said anything crazy. If you're not sure, I guess you will have to watch the VOD. Oh no! Is 13 max? Max what? Eh? What is 13? Oh, the 13 for the daily redeem? Are you stuck to 13? Are people stuck with the same number they had before? I think you're the first one that mentioned it. Wait, let me see. Let me see. I don't know if I'll be able to catch up on it actually. Maybe I can see it in the VOD? Are your numbers stuck, guys? It shouldn't be the case, but if it is, I don't know. Ah, you mean because you saw one person having one more than you? Yeah, this like, I'm just asking if I missed some stream. I don't remember, but I haven't been streaming in the past few days, so last one was on Thursday, so if you weren't there on Thursday, you might have missed that one, but otherwise I haven't streamed since, so yeah. Okay. Let me drink real quick. I was busy moving and then spending time with family and stuff. So I wasn't around. I've definitely missed a lot. It's okay. Do you really ever miss, like, you know, when you think about it, is the stuff really all that important? Maybe it's not really like much to miss out on, and you know, you can be like, oh, you know, like things are archived, and usually I wouldn't say, if I had to do a recap, I feel like even a recap on just a year, I wouldn't have all that much to say. You know, it's like, oh yeah, there was a charity stream. Oh yeah, there was another charity stream. Oh yeah, there was a Lunar Game Show event. What else? The Luna of the Abyss, I guess. But, you know, it's not, yeah. FOMO on Hiwi streams missing your daily teas, but it's okay, you know? I feel like one thing I don't know if I'll say I regret it, but I do feel conflicted about the stream streak actually. I didn't realize it will become such a big thing, so now I'm not like removing it or anything, but had I known it would be like that, I don't know if I would have kept it. Because I feel like it's giving FOMO to some people, especially when their long streak is reset. I feel like maybe it's gonna make people watch for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like, not because you normally will have wanted to watch the stream, but because you're gonna not want to lose a streak. On comparison, I like the daily check-in redeem because it doesn't have a consecutive streak. It's just like you have accumulated a total of something, but it's not relevant to whether or not you missed a stream, and I find it more forgiving. Also, the fact that just on Twitch sometimes streaks get reset for no reason. So I didn't ever think people would watch to such a crazy extent, so that's why I didn't remove it. But I think if I were to do things again, maybe I wouldn't have it anymore. as cool as it is though, because it's so nice, I'm so grateful, but also I'm like, oh god, people when they're so sad because they can't like get their streak anymore, and I guess maybe the expectation of getting their certificate for the 100, you know. I kinda hated streaks when I used Duolingo. Once I stopped it felt like I broke my chains. It's like that meme. That meme of the guy that has like the chains broken with the sunset. It was you. But yeah. Finally got the white eyes. Let's go! Do what feels good with you. Don't force yourself. Every special streams at night I cry myself to sleep because I lose my streak. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there's also this factor, I guess, that like with streaks, outside of, you know, the fact that I feel like some people might feel the pressure to watch or lurk and stuff just for the sake of the number getting a bit bigger. There's also that, because I do want to stream, you know, whenever I find the time right for myself. And it's true that for special events, I prefer them to be in the evening. But obviously not everyone is in the same time zone, so some people can't afford it. But I don't want to feel... I'm not saying this is what just happened, by the way. This is like... I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but... If people are saying that they're really sad because their stream or streak gets broken from it or is gonna get broken, it can be a bit uncomfortable because I still do want to stream at that time, and I don't want to have my streaming plans or times kind of chained, if that makes sense, by the streak. But at the same time, I know that this is gonna screw over some people, and I know some people feel strongly about the streak, so this is kind of... I just feel like it became how do you call this? A constraint? No, that's not a word. A restriction more than anything. But yeah, that wouldn't stop me from streaming. But for example, that will probably stop me from having spontaneous streams. I don't really do spontaneous streams, but even if I did, I don't think I will make them anymore because some people will be sad of breaking their streak. I only cared when it was Twitch's fault. I felt a little pouchy after that. That's fair, honestly. Yeah. I don't understand why sometimes it just dies. That's weird. Doesn't make sense to me. I wish there was a way for the streamer to reset, like to restore the streak in cases like this, so that it's a bit more forgiving. I wake up to these streams, so that's pretty cool. Speaking about stream times. But yeah, some people either have like it's too late, it's like the middle of the night, or it's time where they have to work or stuff like this. And my time zone is just... I associate special events at evening times because I don't really see myself having a crazy fun event and then go on with my day. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like special stuff, for me, I prefer to have them and then I can go to sleep and be like, oh, that was so great. You know, kind of like a party. So that's kind of why. Just like how most of my work streams start in the morning because I will probably start working in the morning, realistically speaking, and then some more casual streams can be more in the afternoon, so that it's kind of an in-between. Yeah. And today is an afternoon stream because I don't think the stream will last 7 hours, and also I guess it's a bit different than the usual art. But yeah. Alright, speaking of, we should probably get ready for the survey, everyone! I need to move around. Last time I had a cool placement. I looked like I was presenting something, and that was pretty great. How do I do this? I'm gonna be here. You know what? Oh, thank you, Alex! Let me... Okay. First things first. I found a playlist that would be cool, I think. I just hope it's not gonna get nuked. We have to pray. No stretching. Sorry, there are no stretches today. It's okay, stretches will return tomorrow. Glasses, it's so true. I'm a survey person. Hello, T-Gamer! Okay, is the volume okay? Do you hear the music okay? Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet and I'll adjust that. Okay. Let's roll. Music is kind of loud. Okay, wait, one sec. Wait. I changed the mic input instead. How is it? Is it still too loud? I can decrease it a bit more. How is it now? Still a bit loud? Okay. How about now? Sounds good. Much better. Okay, thank you for telling me. Hello, Honey. Welcome. All right. It's time to be a presentator. I wish I had my cool magnifying glass, but it's gonna look cursed right now because you see my full, like my arms, and I'm gonna have an extra arm. All right. So last time we actually had Chi around. You know what? Wait, I don't think I can make it work. Okay, wait. Or should I be here? No, it's probably best that I'm here. Okay. My secret third arm, it's true. Look. Boom. It's cool, but like... it's kinda off. So let's just stick to the usual thing. Gee. Maybe I can make it work. I just need to remember. Okay, I look like this, right? I need to actually bring the other one. She's moving so fast. It looks like she has 3 hands. Oh my god. I'm just Sonic. What can I say? So if I wanted things to work, I'll have to open Chi's model first. Give me a moment. Okay. Let's just remember. I have my glasses on, and that's it. And no, and my hat. Okay. Don't redeem stuff while Chi is around, because it's not gonna work. Is this the right toggle? Does she have her puppy stuff? Yay! Okay. So now... that's not what I want to do. I need to do something. So there's something called load current model as live 3D. Does the hydration redeem work? Fine. I can let that one work. The forbidden language. Yeah, I don't know why I can't change the language for this. This is so weird. Okay, so I was like this, like this, like this. I think that was it. Hopefully that was it. Let me know if I forgot something. And then I need to bring Chi. Oh shoot, it didn't work. Why? Wait, it didn't work, guys. Why? Why did it not work? Let me see. Is this really not working? Oh no, it is. Okay. Wait. Oh. Ah. Okay. Okay. For Chi, I can't really have it as redeems, like... I don't know how to explain it, but basically, if you redeem it, it's not gonna be manual. I have to... No, it's not gonna be automatic. It's gonna... I'm gonna have to do it myself. Alright. I can enable the redeems though, because I know we had redeems for Chi. But I might need to mess around a lot with things, so I ask for your patience. Now, you know what? First, I should match with her. So she should get her beret, her short hair, and her glasses. One sec. Give me a moment. So many settings. Glasses. Short hair, and the beret is here. Ta-da! We're matching. There we go. Look at us. Okay, and now for redeems. I need to remember to keep track of it. Let me know if I do miss the redeems, by the way. If I just don't notice them because I'm slow. So cheap. I can't... the only redeem I cannot make it work is gonna be the headpad because it's just... Unfortunately, it's just not gonna... I can't attach things to cheese model. Like, it's not gonna stick. Chi beret. It's currently on, so keep that in mind. Dee doo da la la la. Chi beret, chi glasses, chi dog toggle, and then short long hair. And I think that's it. She has a jacket. Did I enable this? Chi jacket. Chi jacket? Chi jacket. Doko. This is taking so long just to oh, I did enable it. Okay. I think that's it then. Okay. We can finally review all the answers from the sleep survey. No, not the sleep survey, the school survey, my god. Also, welcome, Zigado! Alright. Hope you're ready to get through all of this. Let me know if some of the... like, if stuff is not working well. I think it should be, but just in case... I'm gonna actually take a quick look. So, my cursor is visible, so that's perfect. Okay! In that case... let us begin the survey. I hope you're ready. So, this time around with the Moonsters School Survey, we got 19 people answering the survey. Thank you everyone for participating. I appreciate it. I'm excited to see what you came up with. Let's see who took part of this and who will be able to get their little special Discord role. So we got 3 people who said this is a secret. Place, Kancho, Mugi, Jeremy, Thea, Mitchell, Tuna, Sparf, Mr. 45, Sponzy, Borxa, Volley, Drift, Dobie, Sikad, and Addicts. Thank you all for participating. I won't necessarily be able to see, at least on stream, who answered what. I can technically check that out later, but I probably won't. So I won't be too judgmental towards one specific targeted individual. Unless. Alright! So, first of all, oh my god, people got different answers. Oh wait, no, it's... okay, yeah, right. So this was a question where you could select one or several things. No, I think just one thing. My god, I don't remember anymore. So first of all, what is or was your opinion of school? A lot of questions are both in present and past tense because some people are not in school anymore, but some might still be doing some studies, so... sorry for the wording. I feel like the wording of the survey was always kind of annoying with the is/was and that kind of stuff. Mine isn't there. Maybe you applied anonymously. I don't know. So, among the answers, the most common answers are I don't like school. Or I like school in all of its aspects. We have like both cases of like the 2 most common answers are both extremes. But we also have a pretty high amount of neutral. 4 people answered that among 20. Oh, someone just submitted an answer. Who's that new person? Is it another anonymous person? No. Who is it? Who just submitted something? I don't even know. Is it you, Hone? Xmod. Okay, I see. What a name. They really exposed me. Yeah. Someone is late to the class, I see! People got different answers. Haley realizes what a survey is for. Hey, I'm not here either. Oh yeah, wait, I don't remember seeing you. I guess your answer wasn't registered? Feel free to submit it still after. Also, hello, Hilly. Anyway, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see on the verbiage what my chatters, I guess, what they're, because some people have, God, I don't know how to word this. You know, there are some people that will have some audience that will be leaning more towards certain opinions towards others. Now, about like instead of others, you know, I could have expected more people to dislike school or more people to feel a certain way, blah blah blah. So it's nice to see how diverse everything is. I think it saved the first time I clicked submit. I just opened it and clicked submit. It should have saved your previous answers. Yeah, feel free to, if you're like in the space to open your form and you think you submitted it, feel free to try again. Maybe it's gonna work. So, most common answers, again, the ones I mentioned. Otherwise, it's mostly just ones. So, one person said that they like the social aspect but not the studying part. No one actually said they like the studying part but not the social aspect. But there are some side answers that people wrote themselves. This one says, it's nice and fun, annoying if you're under the stress of wanting to get high grades. I gave up on that mentality eventually. I see, yes, I guess that can be a pressure for sure. I don't like the mental anguish it put me through, but character development is character development. So, you're grateful for who you became, is how I interpret it, but still you didn't like the vibe. This music is a vibe, by the way. I'm glad! I chose this playlist on purpose for the stream. Wait, your answer was registered, I think. Let's see. Did it work? Yeah! You're there now! Yay! Yay! Oh, 2 people. No, I guess that's you, Silence. That you like the social aspect but not the studying. Okay. Lots of ups and downs. Okay. And then I think another answer. Definitely liked hanging out with friends and I liked learning but hated studying for exams. Okay. So you actually overall like things, just not the, I guess, the pressure of the exam, but the learning stuff you like. That's great. Even though they were tough time, I still enjoyed my experience at school. I'm glad. I'm glad you see it with a positive light. Oh wait, I'm supposed to answer that too, right? Personally, I wasn't really fond of school myself, because I couldn't really get myself interested in the subject, so I wasn't really I was kind of bored. And then I didn't like studying because I had to focus on stuff I had not a lot of interest in. But at the same time, I did, like, without school I wouldn't have met some people that have changed my life for the better. And technically, I'm not even sure I would have been singing online if it weren't for some people I met. So, you know, I don't regret going to school. You know, I'm glad I can read, but I wasn't having the best time. Vibe of doing the homework while the teacher is collecting it. Oh my god, that's so stressful. I definitely did that though. Doing the survey as it's getting reviewed is such a cool thing to do. Wait, I just thought it's about that. I think there's a question that's kind of similar later on. Hi, Dobby! God. Alright. Which one of the schools did you prefer or have the fondest memories of among all the different school stages in your life, I guess? So, the highest percentage is actually university. Which, you know, I have never been there, so I can't relate. But I'm glad to see so many people. I actually heard people having not fond memories of uni and stuff, so this is a pleasant surprise for me. A lot of people also liked high school. It's interesting, it seems that most people enter later stages of education or school. Then no preference, and then middle school, tying with elementary school. No one answering kindergarten, which does not really surprise me because, you know, do you really remember much then? College here was a pretty nonchalant version of school. That's great. I know there are some people who, like, again, I haven't been in college myself, but I had some people I knew that didn't I guess the bounds with your people in your school, maybe it depends on the school itself, but was more for like to get like the notes of the other people and stuff. And group assignments could be painful, but I guess it just depends on who you end up with, I guess. Who remembers kindergarten? I do have a few memories of it, actually. I did like it, but I wouldn't say I remember it enough for that. I think... Wait, I didn't answer all the stuff. Memories were hit and miss over all the grade levels. Okay, that makes sense. My answer is uni. I just wanted to put a comment. Okay. My friends get surprised whenever I visit the uni out of my own will. Oh wait. I attended 2 recent events the students clubs had. That's so cool. I'm glad you had such a nice experience with your university. So yeah, I guess university really is leading. Damn. And then art class in high school specifically, photography. Oh, I never had photography, but that must have been nice. I'm glad. Hello Shay, welcome. Personally, I will have said high school for my own answer, because technically I did have some pretty bad years in high school, but I also like the first year was especially good. That's where I met my best friend, who I'm still like really close with, that I'm gonna see soon actually, so I'm excited. And just the class overall was really nice, so I will have said high school probably. Also, this school was like pretty big and had like some events. I remember for like carnival, one of the carnivals, like the first year, happened on my birthday. So I went to school, everyone was just like dressed up, having the time of their lives, and then they heard it was my birthday, so the whole like people just carried me. I was flying in the sky. Like just a lot of memories like that for the first year. So even though the year after like wasn't technically really good, this fond memory, like I think it was my best school year overall, so it outweighs the bad part. Haley. I remember I was dressed as the Little Red Riding Hood. That was cool. I don't think I participated in the next years though, which is a shame, but makes sense. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Haley! Me with my wings. My non-existent wings. Okay, what kind of schools did you attend? I guess, again, there are different options people can select since it depends on the year. I was curious because I'm honestly, I've only been to public schools and like mixed gender ones, but I know there are other options, so I was curious. So, most people went to public schools and mixed, but still 6 people went to private schools at some point, and 1 person went to all girl or all boys school. 2 people went to dorms. God, dorms. I don't know though, dorms. I guess dorms can be a vague thing, right? Because there are some dorms that are like a bit further than your school, and there are some dorms that are literally in your school. American public school. Is it different than a normal public school? Homeschooled. 3 people were homeschooled. I wonder for the homeschool, I actually wonder who among the people that answered this because of COVID and having to attend the classes with like Zoom calls. I should have put a special option for that because I'm kind of curious. And then there's like one answer here. But I remember that one time I rejected a scholarship from Harvard University. That's technically not answering the question. Weird flex, but okay. Okay, I guess. No one asked, okay? Get out of here, you smart person. Why are you even in the stream? I don't think that's what homeschool means. Yeah, homeschool means technically... Homeschool means, well, technically following your education from home. But if during the pandemic you can only attend your classes through calls and stuff, technically you're kind of homeschooled in a way. Be like, sorry, I just remembered this now. Oh yeah, sorry, I just casually remembered that time. I can flex that I'm very smart. I don't want to know that you're smart. I didn't even ask those questions. I'm stupid. I don't like that. Because even though you could have the potential to carry my brain cells, you don't. So what's the point? Anyway. Traveled a lot due to dad's work. Attended French school in Qatar, Angola, Nigeria for a total of 8 years. Oh my god, that's a lot of moves. I wonder how different it is to study in a different country. Even if the school is like French or like whatever language you're familiar with, I wonder how different the system is. Or even to sometimes like be in a setting where the school you're in is not necessarily the language that is spoken around outside of the school. I wonder. Wouldn't it be something like online school? That would make sense. I should have put an option like this. Also, I realized I don't think I put a question for the form that was like, do you wish there was a specific question? Last time I liked doing this, but I think I forgot to include it this time. Crap! Well, you can tell me later on in the stream if there was some stuff you wish there was. I think there's a difference between online schooling and homeschooling. That makes sense. Homeschooling is done by your parents or caretakers. I mean, really? There can be sometimes private teachers that come to your place though, and then it's still homeschooled, right? Not quite different. The program is the same, just the people with you are way more various. Oh, that is true. Yeah. Homeschooling. I think homeschooling, it also maybe depends on the countries, because there might be... I think here we have some laws to make sure that the homeschooling is properly done, so that, you know, the child really does get education and not is just, it is not just said like, yeah, trust, they're like homeschooled and then there's nothing. But I don't know. Either way, that's interesting. 3 people got homeschooled, huh? Yeah, as I said before, I was in public schools with like mixed genders, because I think that's what's the most common here. I almost got homeschooled at some point, but then I wasn't, so... yeah. Anyway, at what times does school usually start and end for you? Yeah. Yeah, not everyone starts school in the same times and finish at the same time, so that got me very curious. Kindergarten through high school, 8 AM, college depending on the schedule I set. I feel like almost no one answered the... No, okay, some people did answer the ending times, but a lot didn't. Elementary, 8:30, middle, 7:40, high, college, depend on classes. Example, 1 year I was able to make my schedule nothing but Tuesday and Thursday classes. Wow! That's crazy. 8 AM to 1 PM or 1:30 PM. For school pre-uni, it was 8 AM to 2 PM, I'm guessing. For university, it really depended on the semester and the courses I am taking. Starting earlier at 8 AM and ending at 5 PM latest. 8 AM to about 3 PM. 8 AM for most early. 6 PM for most late. Sorry, 6:30, depending on my end. Although 6 to 9 AM to 5 PM. Oh my god, 6 in the morning for classes is crazy. 8:30, or I guess 8 AM to 1 PM for morning shift. 1 PM to 6 PM for the afternoon. Switches between those every month. So I don't know if this is... like they called it the 0-hour classes. That's kind of cool. I guess Although I'm guessing that if you have like a schedule where you only take two days out of the week, those 2 days must be really packed. It must be really early, really late, blah blah blah. I'm so bad at structuring my sentences. But I'm not sure I fully understood that one, actually. The one with the morning shift and afternoon. I wonder if that means... Since it switches between those, does it mean that it's only morning sometimes and only evening sometimes? Or does it mean that sometimes it ranges from 8 to 13 and sometimes it ranges from 13 to... Wait, that's just the same thing though. I don't know. 6 a.m. in the forbidden language. Damn. June, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is a troll answer or if this is someone that meant like their school year starts in June. I wanted to ask about that too, but then I wasn't like I was scared of asking too many questions. I was curious about when the school year starts and ends for people because it's not always the same. I think it's most commonly September until the summer vacation, but for example, Japan is different, I know. It's usually from like April to March or something. So, I don't know. 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Oh, 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m. I love how those answers imply that it just never ends. 8:50 a.m. to 3:10 p.m. Usually 7:45 a.m. to either 1 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. Sometimes 5 p.m. What? This is really broad in the end. Like that's quite a difference between those two. April to March, so only 1 month of break. No, I think they do have like some other. I think they have summer vacation that is like all August is off, but the school year resumes. Like a new school year starts in April, if I recall correctly. From how I understood it, at least. I could be wrong. I did not study in Japan, but that's how I understood it. I mean, just, you know, you also have vacations for like summer, and I just said summer, but like Christmas also, stuff like that. Where did I stop? I don't remember. Oh, I think this one. 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. and some days with having extra from 3 to 5 p.m. Okay. Started at 7:50 and ended at various times. Sometimes at 2, sometimes at 4 in the afternoon. Okay. Depending on my schedule, I will say the average times are 8:30 to 2:15 p.m. or sometimes 3 p.m. Damn, it's so interesting how different it can be for some people. Especially thinking of how it is in like, you know, how my own school experience was. I'm like, wow, some people have much less times or much more times, but I'm guessing the difference is how much bigger your breaks are, probably. Start around 9 and around 5 p.m. 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. It starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m. Like 8:20 a.m. I think, ends at 4:30. Okay. Damn. Yeah, some of the answers really surprised me. Also, some of you guys start so early. 6 a.m. is crazy to me. I don't know how you survived. My condolences. I think on overall, the earliest times for school for me were like 8:30 or 8 something, and then depends on the stage of school. But basically, in elementary school, I think you start at 8:30 and you end at 4:30. Then in middle school, it depends on your schedule because every day is different, but it can end up to 5 p.m. But there are some other days where you have like almost full afternoon free, so that's cool. And then in high school, it's kind of similar to middle school, but it can end up to 6 p.m. I think. Which will be very depressing in winter when like you literally go to school, it's night, and then you leave school and it's night. Very depressing. I really hated those times. But yeah, interesting how those things range. Although again, it depends on probably the school stages. I'm not sure if everyone entered like their like middle school, high school, or university times, so that's also a big difference, I think. How far are or were you from your school? Okay. Most people were between 15 and 30 minutes. Actually didn't specify whether it was like by foot or by taking the public transportation. Oh, I guess technically the question comes after. I just see it now. But I guess I mostly wanted to know about your commute time, regardless of what it was. So, 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, is the most common one. Otherwise, it's less than 15 minutes. That's kind of a relief. I feel like if going to school, depends on the school probably, but especially the first few stages like elementary or middle school, I don't think you should take obviously you don't always get to choose your school, but for a growing child that is still developing, an hour or more is kind of crazy. No one over 1 hour. You're right. Oh my god, I just saw it. That's actually a relief. I'm really happy to see that. I'm so glad. No one should have like crazy commuting time. So I'm glad you guys have been good. Hello Ilk, welcome. I don't remember the distance from school. From university it's around 20 minutes by car, but I almost always use the university bus, which took around an hour. No! No! For my elementary school it was 3 minutes, high school 15-ish, and then over an hour for my college. God. Oh, thanks for the quote. I can't add it right now because I have the form in front of my eyes. Thank you, Alex. But I think that was that no to the quote or no to me going by bus. You know by no for the thing taking around an hour. I think the oh wait, but Tamagotchi needs help. One sec. My god, it's really hungry. I literally fed it right before. Allow me to play with it for a moment. I'm gonna speedrun the game, trust. I'm gonna speedrun everything. But see? Like, back before last stream, you will barely hear about the Tamagotchi because it will be fed right before. And now, even though it's fed right before and it's been only just over an hour, it's already empty. It's getting so much harder to take care of it. It really is getting old. We hear the little sounds. Tamagotchi ASMR for you truly. By yours truly. For you. For... I don't know. Okay, I still have to play 1 or 2 more, I think. Because I want the gauge to be full. Because, god, this guy is struggling. Come on, little guy. Come on, little guy. Okay. Are we done now? Let me double check. Are you full? Yeah, okay. It's doing perfectly now. Really getting up to the years. In the years, it's true. Thank you for the quote again. Hi there. Alright. And then for the answer that I didn't get to react to. I think I didn't get to see Metal wrote something, but I didn't get to see it. One sec. What was it? Oh yeah, no, I did see it. 1+ hour for college, god. Actually, it was kind of similar for me though. But I'll answer that later. I also remember that one time attending an hour late for class accidentally. I still don't see how that's relevant to the question. But it's okay. I think I did also have times very rare where I attended late. Like one time I just didn't wake up and then I arrived in the afternoon. That was kind of awkward. I think for me it depended on the school itself, but most of the time I was less than 15 minutes away from all of my schools from kindergarten to high school. But then when I did some other school, it was over an hour because it was in the capital. I think it was over an hour. Yeah, something like an hour, around an hour, probably. Yeah. I still don't see who asked. I can actually see it later unless this person became anonymous. I feel like it's the same person that just throws random stuff. But it's okay. I'll just judge them later. If you didn't get your anonymous status, expect to be banned next time. Expect to never set foot in my class ever again. Now about the transportation method. Which one of those is or was your way of going to school? Most people said walking. We love walking. That's good for your feetsies. Proud of you. That also means you weren't too far, thankfully. So I'm happy for you. Then the other most common ones are the car or the bus, and then biking. And then we have one person answering train, and then some custom answers. Car, walk, bus to end up in high school. Car and college. Okay, so a mix of all of those. Sometimes car, sometimes bus. Car or bus. Bus until old enough to drive myself. Varies between all of the options. Walking and bus. Get to travel in a 600,000 transport that takes me anywhere I want. We already know this is the same person. You want to be interesting so bad. Maybe they were far and had to walk to school. Probably not given the time. Most people said that they weren't too far, so surely it's fine. Please. Am I the only trained person? Metro, subway. All of the above. Oh, that means that there will be like one person, like 2 or 3 people with the train. In my case, the bike number are so much lower than I would have guessed. They're actually higher than I thought it would be. I think it really depends on like where we live, huh? But yeah, personally, since I was close to most of my schools for the most part, I just walked. But when I was taking a bit longer, that one plus hour one in the capital, I had to take the train and the subway also. But I kind of count subway and train as the same thing, so I'll have just pick train. Yeah. But most of the time I was very just fortunate to be close to everything, so I just had to walk for a bit. I was really lucky, especially I think for kindergarten and elementary school I didn't grasp it as much, but I noticed that much more when I started being in middle school, because I will have people in my surroundings that will have to take the bus to go, that they just can't like casually take a break and go home or something for lunch. Meanwhile, I just did that all the time. So I remember a few times where we had like some holes in our schedule, they would just chill at my place. So we will have like, we wouldn't just be waiting in the middle of the class or outside. Yeah. I traveled via train once only when buses didn't work. Ooh. The train system in Europe is so nice. It's much more common, I feel like, also. But I wouldn't say all the trains are always good. I think depending on where you live, it's very common to have them late or cancelled or having 8,000 issues. But yeah, still, it's convenient. Also, it's more eco-friendly, so that's cool. For uni, I had to take a boat. That's so cool! That's kind of cool. That's kind of weird to say it like this, but that's a nice flex, if that makes sense. That was interesting. So most people, well, I'm not surprised that most people take some like car or bus. It's not surprising. Technically, if you fuse them together as, you know, transportation method with the wheel and the car and they're the same kind of engine, it's probably will be the leading one. But yeah, it's not surprising. Alright. How early did you arrive in school? I will drink water before answering those. Okay. So, most people arrive a bit early, like 5 minutes in advance. Otherwise, very early. Damn, Moonsters are so punctual. I guess I should have seen it coming when I see some people are literally in the pre-chatting section. Thank you, guys. Otherwise, what else do we have? I think all the others are just one answer. One person right on time, one person a few minutes late. And then there's some quiz, like no one literally arrived too late to the point that they missed classes or just decided not to attend. And then 3 custom answers depended on the morning. Some were better than others for a morning grump. When I used to take the bus, always on time, but as soon as I reached middle school and started using my bike, I was always 5 to 10 minutes late. Okay. So we have around 2 people that sometimes arrive a bit late. And then there was an attempt to show up on time. That's, you know, at least the spirit is there. It was faster to take the water bus than the regular bus to get to uni. That makes sense. There was an attempt to show up on time. I think for me it depended on the school itself, but I think it depended on the phases of, like, when I was in like elementary school, I didn't go to school it's just that there's a delay, I think. Let me check one sec. Just in case it gets better. Yes, okay. There was a delay. You might need to refresh just in case. Please refresh! Okay, I just need to check if YouTube is working. Yes, it's working great. Okay. I had the concern that I had to make a new waiting room, but we're good. We're still back! Okay. That was weird. I don't know what happened. My net technically was supposed to be fine, so I don't know why it died, but I'm glad we're back. So, we basically... Was I saying? Oh yeah, I was about to say how punctual I was, right? We're still on the topic of how early or late we arrived. No second cup of tea. I prefer when it doesn't happen. Okay. So, after seeing all the answers, let me just get back to this. I think for me it depended on the stage of my life. When I was young, I think I was kind of late in school. But then eventually I became more like early. So I used to arrive maybe a few minutes late. Well, most of the time I was on time, but I will occasionally get late. I won't really be super early. And then as I grew, I guess, and got old, I started becoming more and more punctual. Sometimes I will be like 30 minutes early or something. But I think that's more like the first few times when you're not super confident as to how much time you have, like how much your transportation, especially because you have to rely on trains sometimes, right? But trains are not arriving all the time, so you have to make sure every time works well so that, you know, you don't arrive late, but then it makes you super early, and then you test the waters a bit more because then you realize you were super early and maybe taking the next train is fine, and sometimes it's getting a bit more close. But I'd say that generally I try to be early. Maybe I'm delusional though. Maybe I just want to believe that about myself. Alright, now the one question that was probably the one I was looking forward to the most, actually. The question about people's favorite school subject. I don't know if I'll be able to read everything, because sometimes the text gets obstructed, but I'll try. So, the most common answer was math. And then there's another one that's math with a smiley face. What? Guys, how come? How can you like math? How is that possible? People actually like math? For real? I thought you guys were joking. Damn! I was so bad at that. But respect to you. My favorite subject for real. 2 + 2 is 4 - 1, that's 3. Quick math. Oh my god, you're so smart. People are crazy around here. I mean, I guess, you know, that's what you should expect from watching someone called lunacyhilly, but still. Alright. Just out of sight. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I have everything. Okay, let's see the other common answers are art and English. It's like a daily logic puzzle. I like your way of seeing it. I just was struggling. I think that's, I don't know, sometimes I wonder if that came from me being lazy and not wanting to bother learning some math formulas and stuff like this, but I don't know. I think also just was not very good. And then all the other answers are just singular ones, but sometimes it's just different wording, so I think still. I see another one that's must math except physics. No wait, math and physics. Must math except geometry. Yo, the like math is leading so much. Like that's already 6 of them. Okay, at least it's just 6. Wow, guys, I'm so shocked. I don't know if I'll say math is my least favorite, but it was definitely not among the subjects I liked. So that was surprising. Mine was math until high school. Oh my god, I like how fair math was. If you're bad or good, the answer is the same. It's true. It's not like due to the interpretation of the teacher, I guess, for like compared to stuff like literature. So anyway, we have also chemistry, history, question mark, IT and programming related subjects, life skills. You had this in school? That's so cool. I never had stuff like this, I think. Literature and biology, those are 2 very different things. Math. Photography, or more generally science. Sports. What is ICT? ICT, I don't know. English, psychology, plus vacation weeks. Yes, my favorite subject, vacation. Life skills sounds interesting. It really does sound cool. Information technology. Oh. Used to be math until high school. Dark times. I think it became ICT later. I don't remember, honestly. I guess that was you, hon. Someone also had life skills? Yeah, life skills here. I don't know if this is stuff like I know depending on the countries, there are some stuff where you learn to build things or do sewing or do cooking. I always thought those things were really cool, but I never had this myself, unfortunately. I think that's a shame. It's pretty important. Cooking, building, sewing, that's so nice! I don't know if I would have been good, but I really wish that this was part of our education system. And then we had information technology. Quite a few people like IT. Wait, IT is it information technology IT, right? So IT is actually kind of leading too, but science also. Science. Technically, is math considered science? Or when you think science, you just think of physics, chemistry, and biology? I thought math was a part of it too, but I don't know. Sadly, it is. Damn. Science in the lead then. IT or ICT were used interchangeably here. Damn. Gladly it is. I see. Damn. So most of the people watching me, surprisingly, are science people. Science, just overall, science was probably the thing I enjoyed the least. Where were you when I needed to do my homework? You could have helped me. Yo, sometimes I feel like if I was still a student, it could have been interesting to have streams where like co-working streams, but also like doing like also talking about homework, and if I had questions you could have helped me. But well, that's not the case, alas. I am 87. And I think if I get back to studying something, it probably won't be something like the classic ones. STEM stuff? What is STEM? STEM, like the stem of a flower? Or science, technology, elegance, medication. I think that's what it means. And totally not math. I did study science in an extra amount of classes, but it never was my favorite. I think personally, for me it also changed. Science, technology, engineering, math. Oh, that makes sense. I prefer the elegance answer, but you know. Unfortunately, yours makes a bit more sense. When I was younger, I really liked French literature. I was pretty good at writing stuff, but then when I went to high school, the stuff that was expected was no longer the stuff I like to make, and I started dying and I stopped liking it. I did like English, though, because at the time I was also starting to talk a bit in English to people online, so I was getting a bit more familiar with it. But I was still bad at some stuff in English. Understanding spoken English was really hard. And I generally think that overall, I was bad at like... how should I say this? I think I've always been bad at understanding foreign languages when spoken. So back then I used to be really bad at English until I got way more familiar, but I will have a hard time understanding, like analyzing like sounds and really like understanding it as words. That's like, that was so bad. Like I will have like really good grades in like writing, but understanding spoken stuff was really like, it was so bad, it was really depressing. And I can tell that I'm kind of having a similar struggle now with the other language that I'm learning currently, so I feel like I'm just overall struggling with that kind of stuff. But I guess I just need to immerse myself more in it, and eventually my brain will be like, oh yeah, that's not just a random sound. Who was your favorite author? Oh god, I don't know. I think rather than just French literature, sorry, I probably worded it wrong. I think it's just French in general. Also, like, writing. I actually did like writing a lot back then. Like assignments and analyzing books and stuff, or stuff like this. I used to enjoy them and being good at them. Country's literature is always something else. Oh, oops, I messed up. Wait, well, oh my god! Hi Kancho, happy 21 months, oh my god. Since math seems to be considered by lots of us fun, let's see if the class can all count up to 21. I can't. Wait, I messed up. Adding to Luna's stream report for these surveys, a unique break from art, game, and study stream days. Here's to Luna the creative and the real one. You're so sweet! Thank you, Kancho. I appreciate it. God, I'm not team math though. It surprises me that nobody chose music. I did like music in middle school. That's it. Country's literature is always something else, especially on higher levels. On higher levels, it's getting... I think it's starting to get beyond me a bit. I get you, that's me with learning a new language now. We got this, honey. I want to do more practice than relying on Duolingo and the other app I used to learn it. I hope you get to it and get to be comfortable with that. Music in high school is terrible. So many untrained noises. I enjoyed it in middle school because we just had to play the recorder and sing sometimes, and I was pretty good at those at the time. And the teacher just liked me. But this teacher, it was kind of sad. When I think about this teacher, I kind of wonder how she's doing now. Because she really liked the first years, like the younger people. Because that's when they're not rebelling and stuff. But then she doesn't, I don't think she was really good with having authority, like the good kind of authority. So I think as the students will age, she will end up fighting with them instead of, you know, getting respected, unfortunately. So it was kind of sad to witness. Like, I already knew about it, but witnessing it as, you know, I also grew into the older classes and stuff. I wasn't the one getting in trouble or anything, but just seeing the conflicts and stuff, it will be kind of sad. I just became aware of the term recorder. Is it another name for a flute? Yes, it's like the very... I do have a picture of it, I think, somewhere. Like, depends on the language you use, but flute is like a bit more difficult. Like, that's not necessarily something you will learn in school itself unless you specialize in music. But the recorder is the kind of not the classic one, the easier one, you know, the one that doesn't have all that much. This one. Yeah. That's the recorder. Flute is held horizontally, yeah. But it really depends on the language, because actually in the forbidden language, when you think of flute, you also think of the recorder. Even though it's not just called a flute, it's called a beak flute, if you translate it. But yeah. I have a recorder right now. I could play something, but I don't remember how to play anything. But yeah, back then I was pretty good. You were supposed to learn how to read the music sheet, but I never learned how to do that, so I would just play it by ear because I would remember the melody. So I was just pretending to read the the sheet when I had to do the test. I'll be looking at my book. But I'm like, basically I don't know a single thing from that. But it's fine. At least I got to do the performance as intended. Massive distraction weapon, this thing. It was fun. I think it has the potential for great things. But yeah. And I wonder if I could have really liked art classes, but I said this before, but I only had art in like middle school, and the teacher we had was not really... Like, I'm gonna sound a bit disrespectful, but he was not really meant to be a teacher. He was not teaching us anything. He was just talking to himself instead of teaching us anything. Will give us assignments and will give you grades that will not reflect on your grade, like the grade document with like your overall grades for the whole semester. So sometimes even if you turned in nothing, like even if you didn't submit a single thing in the year, somehow you will have random grades randomly appearing. So I did try in my first year, but eventually there was literally no point in it, so I just ended up either randomly drawing stuff for myself or just doing my homework. Because there was literally like, it was just a waste of time, honestly. But we didn't have I think this teacher was supposed to be retired. I don't know why he was still around, but I'm guessing that our school couldn't find another art teacher, and this teacher left as soon as I graduated from middle school. So I wonder how different it would have been if I had a proper teacher. My art teacher was also my boss in my side job. Damn. Potential for a great thing, like playing it with your nose, exclusive to Prodigy. I've seen YouTube videos of people doing that. Teacher lottery. He was just waiting for you to leave. He was intimidated by my skills, clearly. But yeah, it's kind of a shame though, because for people that like, I'm imagining if someone really wanted to go to a proper art school, not being able to have a proper like art education and even grades that will not reflect your actual work, that must be really screwing you over. Or even if you care about your grades, because the overall grades that he will give are not brilliant grade, it will be like 6 out of 10 or something like that. So like if you care about having a super high overall grades, overall score for your year, this is not a huge percentage, but it's still kind of screwing you over a little bit. Also, hi Gabby! Happy 15 months! a professor just like that. Though instead of random grades, he just kept failing us. What the hell? Albeit in part because nothing he assigned was related to anything we were doing. What the hell? How are people teachers? Sometimes I really wonder. Because this can really be sabotaging, like, children. Depending on what they want. But yeah. When I was younger, you know, I'm guessing this is a thing in a lot of countries, but every, like, 2 or 3 times a year, there can be events where teachers will meet parents, so you can discuss concerns or questions and stuff like that. And eventually, my dad decided to go see this teacher because they were wondering, like, if there was stuff I could do to get, like, better grades in art. I don't really know what was the point because, truthfully, I was not even submitting anything anymore at this point. I kind of gave up. And this teacher was just, he was just being like, oh yeah, I remember, Hilly, yes, for this, okay, here is my advice. So for this assignment, if I recall correctly, you submitted this thing, right? And I was like, yeah, then I think if you did this instead, it would have worked. Except that I didn't even submit anything. And I'm sure he knew about it and still decided to lie. He always was like, whether it's to the parents or to the students. I think he's just like this with everyone. It really makes me wonder what kind of person he was outside of the school, though. I don't know, I can't imagine him to have written some book or something for some reason. My mom is a teacher in elementary school and my dad used to teach physics for a time. Damn. For what will Metal be a teacher? Teaching rat stuff. The most important subject of them all. God. But yeah, this was such an experience. But yeah. Alright. Now for the least favorite subjects. Oof. Okay, so math is actually still quite high. Math, chemistry. I'll say Arabic since I wasn't that good at it grade-wise. I did grow to loving the language as I grew older, so I wish to properly study it someday. I hope it goes well. Math and English. Math, science in general. So just general, it seems that math is like just bringing... It's a polarizing subject. Non-available, so I guess just nothing. Music, math, none. Everything else, I forgot. I don't know what you answered, but okay. Math, English, any science, particularly chemistry. Chemistry is really not a thing. Citizenship and empathy class. Empathy class, I didn't really get that, but I think as a concept that's pretty cool. Science or chemistry probably. Depends on if they give me 1000 homework on that subject. Besides that, I'm chilling. Okay? French, German, physics, English/writing. Why do so many hate chemistry? It's so interesting that sciences are both the favorites and the least favorites overall. Is empathy a thing you learn? I don't know. I never had classes like this, so this makes me curious as to what it was. But as a concept, that seems cool. To, you know... I could imagine this to be more of a thing for... Well, actually, I was about to say more for when you're young, but... I could imagine empathy stuff to also be... to prevent stuff like bullying, for example. I don't know, though. Again, I haven't witnessed it firsthand. But... that seems interesting. I wish I kinda got to see it. Hi, Indigo! Moonster Civil War, science lovers versus science haters. I'm sorry, but I cannot be neutral in this fight. I do have feelings about this too. Mitchell, please include the one that loves science except for math. So you only side with the people when it's convenient, basically. You're gonna be like a double agent, and then you're gonna end up being under fire from both sides. Okay. One subject that you never had, but you wished you had. Whether it's an existing like subject in the world, or it's just something you're making up. East Asian culture that was focused on one country instead of a broad review. Ooh. Actually, didn't get to study much of like Asian culture or Asian stuff in general in my school life. This was something that was very overlooked. I feel like if anything we had like geography and history, but that was more usually not really affecting Asia much, which is a shame. And maybe I realized like a few years ago that I really didn't know all that much about Asian history, for example. I do know a tiny bit more now, but still. Very Occident-centric. I think that if you pursue history as a major and like in university you do learn about those things, but I guess they want to cram things that are about yourself as much as possible when you have your, I guess, obligatory history classes probably, but still, that's kind of a shame. I have liked to do Latin, but it was never taught at my school. Oh, I actually had the option for that, but most people that learned it before me regretted it, so I didn't. I think it probably depends on the teacher you get for this. Asian history is very interesting. I want to sneeze. Why is it not coming out? Okay, it's going. Sorry in advance if I randomly sneeze into your face. Okay, foreign language. You didn't get the option to learn a foreign language? Damn. Of your choice? I thought it was obligatory to learn a foreign language, but I'm learning things. Cooking! Yeah, cooking will have been interesting. There are so many people that I feel like don't know how to cook, even though that's kind of an important skill to have. If classes like this were there, it would have been useful. Bless you, I didn't sneeze yet, but thank you. I appreciate it. In high school, there was a possibility to get an Automotive Tech 101 type class that never materialized. Too bad. It was forbidden to not learn the forbidden language. I mean, no, but like, actually here where I grew up, you had to learn 2 foreign languages at the very least, including English, and then you can choose between Spanish or German. And I learned Spanish and I forgot everything. And now that I'm currently learning German, I wish I'd chose German so that it would have been easier for me. But it's fine. Bless you, I'm from the future. Thank you, Future Silence. But yeah, so I didn't... I'm guessing that I thought that most countries that don't speak English have to learn English at the very least. And then I thought that languages, like countries that speak English as a first language, still have to learn something like Spanish or French. But maybe not. Anticipatory Gesundheit, then. Hey. English in the chat! We had English in the neighbors, which includes forbidden language. What? The neighbor, like... Oh, so you learn English and then all the neighboring countries? I think that is in most European countries the case. Oh, I guess not everywhere, but there, yeah. Economics / home skills. I think we had economics in school for me, but home skills we didn't, and I wish we did. Band music. Damn. That could have been nice. Well, we had music, but not like band stuff. I wish I had programming class in high school. Coding, I have a bit of interest in it, only a little. I hope people that couldn't get the courses they wanted eventually get their their revenge on those and get to have at least a little bit of like a little workshop for it. Now, bless you. I'm from the past where we weren't even aware you might sneeze. What the hell do I say to that? Thanks? Question mark? Thesis. Ooh. Japanese. Woodshop. Oh, that's cool. Computer science. Yeah, funny given my previous answer. I'm sorry, I don't remember who you are. A class that was just an extra break time to do homework before home to have more free time. Oh, we had something like this actually in some school, but that was more in like, I think, elementary school, where like after the classes, so usually classes will end at 4:30 p.m. in elementary school, but then you could stay over up until like 6 p.m. and you could do your homework there. And also you could, because your teacher will still be around, they could help you with your homework if you don't understand. So it's kind of good to have, if you struggle in school a little bit, because then you have, the teacher can help you a bit more specifically compared to when they have a class of 30 people. I haven't really been there though, but I know that some parents will put their parents into, will put their children into this, because also the parents cannot pick up the child earlier. When I did some, I don't like to say babysitting because it was not a baby, but like when I had to take care of a child at some point, I had to pick him up after 6 also for the same reason. I wish I had media studies, cinema studies for more than 1 year. I hope you eventually get to study more of it. Financial literacy will be a good thing to add, but these days it's easy to learn online or by researching to gain a better understanding. But you know what I think people should learn is how to do research properly, because I feel like there are so many people that don't know how to do things, but they also don't know how to educate themselves or do the research, and then they just get overwhelmed. And then sometimes they end up depending on other people to handle the thing for themselves, which I understand why, because it's more reassuring that way and it's probably done more efficiently, but that does not make you like, that still means that you depend on the person after, so that's still a problem. But I agree, financial literacy, just financial stuff, how to do taxes will have been useful, because it gets so overwhelming when you start, and if you don't have people around you, that's kind of scary. And not everyone can be super lucky to, you know, not everyone is always surrounded by the people that can help. How to cook on subjects about adulthood work like taxes. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Astrology is cool. Never had this, but I think I wouldn't have been necessarily interested in it for like a full year, or like, you know, like once a week for a full year, but like having one lesson in a year that talks about this could have been interesting. History, you did not have history in school? That's the first time I hear about this. Cooking, quite a few people that go for like adulthood stuff, or like skills at home, or taxes. I think I will probably answer something similar, honestly, so I agree. How can you not have history? I don't know who answered that, so I can't really comment on it. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised by by this, not gonna lie. Many monsters were not trained to be an adult in school, but it's true that school does not teach you that. Usually it's your guardians that teach you that. And again, I feel like it's a bit of a risky thing, because sometimes guardians are not very equipped to teach you that either. Some guardians, like some adults, are not very responsible. And you know, if you're a child and want to learn, but they are not the most, how should you say this, fitting to teach you about it, you're kind of screwed. That's kind of a shame. Now, one subject you had but never understood its point or why it's there. English composition 2. So wait, that means there are 2 subjects for English composition? I wonder what's the point of having 2 different ones, yeah? None. Pretty much anything past 6th grade that had to do with any core subjects and didn't specify anything. Technology. French people know how useless it could be. I think it depends on what kind of field you end up going towards. Because At least in my past, whenever I will learn technology, it wasn't necessarily like computer stuff, but also how to build a bridge. What colors will look good for graphic design? Like very like it's kind of vague actually. Like how would you promote a product, which I didn't really like back then because my teachers were really bad. But I think looking now, I think that I would have been interested if I had to do this subject now. And I think depending on the kind of career you want to have, it can be useful, but for some others it's kind of like, what? Hello Isaac! Jumping ahead for a moment, GROTC didn't exactly parents, but it did try to cover things about life skills, covering things like taxes and other practical things. That's great that they had this. It's good. I don't think I had that. Oh, you know one thing I wish that was obligatory for us to learn? It's a thing I still haven't learned yet. Even though like it's shocking to me that it was not like something mandatory. First aid. I think everyone should learn how like the basic stuff to save someone in case of emergency. Of course you're not a doctor, so you're not gonna do a surgery for them, but like that can make such a big difference to have someone knowing that. Define basic. Probably CPR. Mostly this. Like when someone collapses, how to put them depending, like not putting them. I don't know the wording, but you know, like making sure they don't choke on their tongue. That kind of stuff. We had programs for that. That's cool. I think we were supposed to have programs and somehow it still never happened for me. Which is crazy. The fact that I still don't know at the age of 87. I mean, I can do my research, but I feel like it should be an obligatory thing that people do. We did have a class in elementary where we learned basic first aid. You guys are so lucky! I can't believe I never learned it. But yeah, I think that's very important. They taught us first aid when I had to get my driver's license. That's so cool! I don't even think having our driver license here will even require us to know that, which is crazy again. But yeah, it's important. I'm somehow reassured to know that it seems like people in the chat seem to know about it though. Have learned it and had to learn it in school. This somehow puts my mind at ease. If I die, you can save me because, you know, this is the screen, but you can save people. And the fact that maybe I'm just unlucky if I didn't learn it and it's not so commonly not taught. Moral studies. I think moral studies are good, but maybe it depends on what it is. Is it not required for a driver's license? How? It doesn't seem logical or safe. You know what? Honestly, I don't have my driver license, so maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not sure. That does seem that I agree though. It should be obligatory. But and the stuff that I was required to do for like learning the theory, it didn't seem like I was required to know that, which is weird. You're gonna hurt someone with your car. Here's how to minimize the damage. It's not even, it doesn't even have to be about that, but even knowing like if someone collapses on the street, you know? Or even not in the street, just in general. It's interesting to see differences in cultures, right? That's why I like those surveys. It's nice to see how different everyone is, and I feel like the school survey is especially good to see the difference in cultures and like systems of the countries and stuff. Seeing this with like your school times, what you learned, what you didn't learn. I found it super interesting. Advanced math classes, okay. Maybe religion. Here, religion really is just Christianity. I think it's cool to learn about all kinds of religion of the world, and if you choose to take religion, that's fine too, but it's mandatory here if your assigned religion is Christianity. But even that, I'm not that much against. I think it's cool to have a wide spectrum of education. I think it could have been interesting to learn about, yeah, all kinds of religions. I think, unfortunately, in my country, that's impossible. Because our country is, I never know the word in English, but basically we don't have a religion. Like, people can be religious, but like public schools and stuff, they have to be neutral in that aspect. And in jobs overall, you cannot show any signs of religion either, officially. And I think you can have religious stuff if you are in a private religious school. But even then, you will only learn about one religion, which is the religion of the school, right? Secularism, yes. And I feel like honestly, I'm not religious myself. I don't have the biggest interest in religion. But in a way, I feel like it could have been interesting if we learned about the various religions. But because I feel like in my country that will just bring more controversies, because there are definitely some discriminations against some of them. And so I don't think the country is ready for that, unfortunately. But I think that's a shame. It will seem more interesting to me to have all of it taught rather than just one. And nothing is, I guess... I mean, I learned nothing. But I think that could have been an interesting thing to know a bit more about. At the same time, I'm saying this, but if I had to do this and like have tests over it and everything for a year or several years, I think I wouldn't have liked it. Since I'm not religious, but yeah. Religion is involved in our philosophy subject. Ooh! Maybe there is something like that, I don't know, about me, because I never went so far as to reaching the philosophy classes. I wonder how I would have felt about philosophy, honestly. Can agree after taking man religion classes. Understanding them really does people good. Taking many, okay, that makes more sense. We had theology class as an optional class. Ooh, that's really cool. Thank you, Kancho. But yeah, I think nowadays especially, I feel like in the past decade, the country has been having more debates is how you could word it, but I feel like it's more like fights and issues. I don't want to say issues, but more like, yeah, people seeing certain religions not on a good light, and then it creates conflicts. So I feel like as things stands, it's gonna be impossible to teach those religions in school, except if it's like a religious school focusing on that said religion. But that's kind of a shame, because I feel like because of this, it's only gonna lead to more conflict or more stereotypes and more discrimination. That's why they should teach it. I agree, but I mean, I think it just does not really work with the secular system. The fact that we don't want to teach religion, we don't want to be promoting religion, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think it could have had potential though, but I'm also saying this as someone that wasn't forced to learn about it. Maybe I would have hated it, I don't know. A lot of people even here no longer see a need to have religion in their life for their own reasons. Yeah. They're even closing some private schools for certain religions, but that problematic one open still. I didn't even know about that! Oh my god. Unfortunately, I'm only partially surprised. I really wonder how things are gonna evolve on the long term, because I feel like it's only gonna create more and more tensions between said religion and the ones that are so against that one specific one. That's so... I do hope it will get better eventually, but I think it won't get better before a little bit, unfortunately. But maybe one day we'll get to teach religion a bit more. I mean, you know, it's always easier. It's easy to do more than nothing, I guess. Audio is a bit loud. By oh, did you mean the background music? I can decrease it, one sec. I think it's better now because it's a different song. Is it back to being fine? I didn't really change the volume, but I think the song is a bit quieter. Philosophy. I wonder what I would have felt about philosophy. I feel like it depends on the teacher you get. Some people say that they hated it, some people loved it. So I think it depends on how open or closed your teacher is, and also if maybe if I don't know if this could be like if your mindset works with theirs. I don't know. Since I never did philosophy, I can't tell. My philosophy teacher was so pretentious, it was insane. I'm so sorry to hear that. I feel like philosophy is an interesting, like as a concept, it's an interesting thing. So, like I think it has the potential to be interesting for everyone, but you know, teachers always can make or break your relationship with a subject in general. But also I feel like I don't know if philosophy has to be something in school specifically. I think it can be enjoyed outside of it being a subject to learn and study and get exams and being great for. Maybe it would be more enjoyed if it wasn't in that setting. Our philosophy teacher is a pastor, a pretty cool guy. Nice. Yeah, I really wonder how I would have felt about it. I had social studies for 2 semesters at my university, even though I am at an agricultural university. I actually really liked it and did well, but it was a little out of place. I don't fully know how what exactly falls under the social studies category, so I can't really comment much on it, but I could guess that it's useful regardless of the school. But I can see why it feels random. I feel all of the majors are useful in their own way besides the ones that can't teach you any practical nor theoretical skills. So then that could apply to stuff like moral studies and stuff, right? Or philosophy. Art, the subject have potential but most of the time wasted. Well, in my case, I will agree. But yeah, depends I guess on if you get cool teachers. Chemistry, I think all subjects have their place. Okay. Chemistry, I'm kind of surprised to see it as not just a subject people hate, but rather not understanding why it's there, because I kind of see why for like science stuff overall, but I feel like it could be a good art teacher because I had bad art teachers. Also, like, because you know where they messed up, you know how you could make it better. That's nice. Okay, now my very, very random question, but I absolutely wanted to ask, is if people have color associations to certain school subjects. I know that some people do, so I really wanted to see how people see certain stuff. No, but I always put math in red whenever I call the color of hate. Not particularly, no. I never thought about it before, but blue came in mind for math and green for chemistry. My 2 favorite colors for my favorite and least favorite subjects. That's interesting. Math green, social studies / history red, science blue, language / English, I don't know, black, art, legitimately anything. I'm gonna go with all the basic subjects from French middle schools or high school. Math, Egyptian, okay, that's a very specific one. Oh my god. Chemistry, flavescent yellow. Biology, medium spring green. French, especially the literature parts. French, bistre brown / tan. I'm probably destroying the names of all of these colors. I'm so sorry. Got it. I figured because you said earlier, like last time you came in the stream, you were saying that you were feeling this category so seriously. I figured from the details of the colors that it was you. Spanish is English is azure blue, Spanish is candy red, fine arts pure white, musical education deep sky blue. History and geography, sepia brown. Philosophy, plum purple. PE, Princeton orange. Technology, platinum gray. Economic and social science, wheat yellow. Wow. Damn. I never thought of PE with colors. I think it's because most of the colors I associate for subjects are like what kind of color I will put in books and stuff like that. And since there's usually no book for PE, I never even thought about it. Nope, many schools had colors for subjects, but it always varied and changed. German language class blue. For all the tears in my eyes! Math is yellow because it's pleasant at times, straining to the eyes a lot more. English could be blue because it's a nice calm color that could easily be deep and dark like the ocean. Science is green, no real reason. Social studies is red, there's a reason. My country's language subject is also red because I'm terrible at it. History is orange. Philosophy is purple. For one, they both start with P, I guess. And two, it's mysterious and I want to understand it. That's kind of cute. Nope, no. History orange, social studies green, math dark blue, science yellow, Spanish red. Math is blue, literature is yellow. Damn. See, it's so funny how there are quite a few people that have color associations. I am so entertained by this. Math was red, biology was green, physics was purple, then blue and yellow for the two languages we speak here, and either transparent or a small notebook for English. I feel like math and physics are orange or red, biology is green, and chemistry is light blue. Literature might be yellow or gold. I don't really know how it's like for most people, but for me it's... They are colorized by how difficult I find them. Oh, okay. So they are sorted by the feelings about the subject. Okay, so math is hard but manageable. Purple. Do you think I'm difficult but manageable too? Art is something you don't find too difficult. Economics moderate. Biology is being easy. Sports easy. Literature moderate. Information technology easy. Chemistry manageable. History moderate. Physics not easy after doing the basics. Finance not too difficult. Homework very fun and interesting. You have to be one of the first people that actually love homework. But respects to you. Exams to know, but exams are not a subject, right? Music, what was it? Not too difficult. Geography is moderate. That's kind of interesting. Math blue, German red, English yellow, biology green, chemistry white, physics black, ethics/religion orange, history brown, economics purple. No, I don't. Is that a thing? I think all the answers that you see are proof that this is actually a thing. I think I do have color associations too. But I shall see. Wait. School subject. But you know what? I shall do it based on what they have put. So math, I will put it in red because I suck and I have a lot of red in my grades. Biology will be green. Chemistry will probably be some kind of blue. The literature will be blue too. English will be either yellow or green. Spanish will probably be yellow. I didn't really have stuff for arts. I think for music I just had like a different book than the others, and it was just like kind of like brown/beige, and it had some music sheet on it. Philosophy I didn't do. PE no. Technology I think it was a light blue for me. And geography and history, I usually had them two separated, so history was blue and geography was green. Oh, actually I think I did have orange for something, but what? I don't remember. Could have been Spanish actually. And then civics could have been yellow. God. Are there any school feature system you didn't experience but wish you did? Field trips to different city, not local places. Programming. There was Visual Basic and HTML/CSS, but they were taught very simply. As I studied computer science, I became more of a fan of programming and loving to learn new things about it. Another feature I wished for was lab experiments, chemistry, biology, physics. Those are fun, we didn't do them that much. No idea, I kinda wish there was a club ice hockey that I could have done. Field trips are nice, yeah, I agree. Field trips, whether it's like long ones or even just one day ones, it's kinda nice. Less class hours and more extracurricular clubs time. We don't really have those in France until we go to public university, it's true. I'm kind of jealous when I hear of people that have like classes until the afternoon and then it's club activities. I'm like, you're so lucky. But we probably have more vacation as a consequence. Maybe I'm wrong though, that's just my assumption. That is to be student aid or part of a school committee. Ooh. Yeah, we didn't have that either, I think. Our generation didn't have trips abroad because of the incident from the previous generation. Oh no. Using computers. Being a basketball player. Sleeping time. Oh my god. I remember there was this in kindergarten. There was like a time where you could just nap. That was so cool. Now I think back on it, I'm like, damn, I wish I could do that now. Imagine if you had work and there was a time where you could just nap. That would be so good. Trip abroad. Not needing to wear a uniform. I wonder how gradeless schools will be. Not that I'm 100% convinced. No, I wonder how... Yeah, gradeless school will be. Not that I'm 100% convinced, but I wonder. Yeah, I do... Wait, gradeless school as in like... all the years are like taught stuff together? Or you don't have grades, like you don't have exams and results with a number or a letter? I don't know which one it is, but... makes me curious. Not that I can think of, except maybe some schools allow the students out during break time. Ah, that was the case for mine. Especially in high school. Kind of the opposite. I'm really glad that we didn't have to wear uniforms. Nice. My school didn't have many clubs, so I wish that was more of an available thing. Yeah, I don't think we had clubs either. School uniform, sports fest. So, is it like you wish you had it? Sports festival, that's cool. Special needs students were given extra help with subjects they struggled with, as my disabilities were undiagnosed, sorry. At the time, I would have liked the help, I can imagine. No grading result. Oh yeah. I feel like sometimes the grades just put people to shame or makes them like it can be discouraging if it's not a good one. So I wonder, I feel like it could have been, I think there are some schools that could have been leading to better results for people that have struggles. I agree. I would have liked to see, at least to see how different it will be. I think it can help. I'm guessing that there are actually some special schools that do not have grades for this exact reason, but it's more for schools, like private schools for people with special needs. I wanted to nap during work every single day in the past 3 weeks. Damn. I get that though. I hope that you get naps at some point. How do you or did you usually spend your free time during recess? Alright. Most people just chatted with the others, played with the others, or wandered around. But we also had people playing alone, studying, reading, or napping. And then otherwise, it's other stuff. So bathroom break, just sitting there was too much of a rule follower to do anything that's not allowed. Damn. 30 push-up? Oh wait, I just saw it. Wait, I'm gonna check that after. Typically, I found a game to play once I got to the older grades, either kickball or soccer. Okay, typically. Alright, drawing a lot. So many artists in the recess. I also played a lot of football. Tell others to do 30 push-ups or I will grab their own lunch money for myself based on a true story. What the hell, dude? There was a staff member who knew about my social anxiety and will let me sit in an unused meeting room by myself. That's nice. It's nice that you had a staff member that was understanding of it, because I think it's not allowed normally to leave like a child alone in a room. Because, you know, technically stuff could happen there and then the school will be responsible. But I'm glad that you were able to have your time. Recess is the time for doing all the homework. No homework allowed at home. I kinda agree. Oh my god, again? Yo, you keep dying on me. Well, not really dying, but see how quickly it gets hungry nowadays? It's so crazy. Like every hour now. Sorry, I have to play with it again. I'm poor little Tama, you're getting so old. It's hard to keep taking care of you now. So needy. It's getting in its retirement home era, I think. I have to play with it 2 more times. And then we're good. God. I really wonder how much time it has left. I wonder how much longer I'll be able to keep taking care of it. Okay, one last game. Appetite increases with age. I guess so. But at some point it's gonna be every 5 minutes and I'm gonna die. Okay. The funeral stream is today, I fear. No. Don't jinx it. If it happens, I'm gonna ban you for jinxing it. Tamagotchi old one's getting to it. Appetite increases with age. Yes. Oh god. Did I miss something? Sorry, I got kind of interrupted by the sound, so I feel like I was saying something, but I forgot. Oh yeah, recess is the time for doing all the homework. I actually kind of did that too. I had times where I was just doing the homework or literally just like studying right before an exam. I was not the very studious type. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick, 1 sec. And then I'm gonna, I guess say the others. I think overall I was just chatting with people. And walking around. Sometimes I just was desperate to stay in the hallway, especially in winter, because I'll be like glued to the heater. But then the staff will just kick us out, so we will have to be outside in the cold, freezing and agony. Unfortunately, that was my fate. I had to freeze. So sad. Luna takes good care of the Moonsters, so I believe in her Tamagotchi being taken care of too. You're so sweet. I don't think I always take good care of you guys, but I'm glad you see it that way. I'm glad you think so. I'm glad I give that impression. Okay, 1 sec. Okay. Let's continue. I think I was about to say we're getting close to the end, but I think we're kind of halfway through. This is taking longer than I thought. I'm not even sure I'll be able to draw today, but that's fine. If so, we can do the drawings tomorrow since it's an art stream. How did you handle your lunchtime? Most people ate at the school cafeteria, otherwise bringing lunch they prepared, going out to get food or eating at home. Some people skipped lunch though, it was not that rare. 6 people. And then otherwise eating in my GROTC office when I was Battalion XO. Small clarification, for us recess and lunchtime are the same thing. We use the term break in English. So I will normally eat during, I guess, recess. I think it's cut off. Oh wait, I will normally eat with friends or do the same thing as the previous question. Okay. Thanks for clarifying. To me, recess and lunch breaks are different because lunch break is like 45 minutes, and recess is like 15, I think. Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. Oh, thank you for explaining it to me. Also, welcome, Artrix. Thank you for the hydration redeem. Let me know if I missed any redeems, especially for the Chi model, because they won't be happening automatically. So feel free to tell me if I missed something. It was basically US government military teaching class, PE, and using military ranks in class. Wow. Military school, kind of. That's very far away from stuff I know. But that makes sense. I'll also buy food from the places around school. I had to sneak back in though because that was against the rules. My school had dumb rules about that leaving campus. I think that was the case for some of my schools too. Depends on the grades. But that's to make sure people don't skip classes, I think. And also, actually there's more than just one reason. The other reason kind of makes sense because if the person is registered to be in school and something like the child is outside and something happens to the child, literally like they die or something, the school would be responsible because they said that the student was in the school. So why like they were not supervised and then they were like that's I kind of get why the rule is there. Although for lunch breaks, I think you could probably establish it properly to not it being like that. I don't know. It didn't teach the whole school. It was the alternate to taking PE. Oh! Okay, that's kind of surprising. Also, take care, Mitchell. Have a nice lunch. See you later or tomorrow. Using the same cash to get myself something to eat. Never got in trouble ever, trust. Oh my god, the person that was bullying with the 30 push-up. You know what? I think I even know who that person is. I don't even like see names or anything. But I do remember someone wording things like, I'm gonna get in trouble for filling that form. And now I'm wondering if it's this person. Honestly, if I'm here by the end, I hope you also have a good rest of the day just to cover all the possibilities. Thank you, Visual. You too. Physical training Fridays were no joke. That's why it was a PE alternative. I can imagine. I mean, physical training, like physical education versus physical training. Physical training seems much more intense. Alright. Now, did you have anything such as club activities or extracurricular activities? So, let's see all the activities. Who do you suspect? I'm not gonna say who because if I'm wrong, I just will feel bad. I'll probably check later though. You know what? I don't even know if this person wrote their name or is anonymous. I can see. Wait. I can tell you that it's not an anonymous person that I'm suspecting. Someone that registered their name. We'll see if it's right. I mean, I'll probably confirm it maybe next time. Anyway, so unfortunately I was a theater kid in high school. Yes, Japanese club, anime club, taekwondo, GROTC, the thing that was just mentioned earlier. Sometimes just wanted the mall arcade to do Dance Dance Revolution. I was a part of a volleyball and football team, if that counts. I used to come to school early for practice, 6 a.m. Oh my god! Must always sports. Eventually I narrowed down to baseball and golf, and then also did robotics in high school. Wow. No. Scouts is part of school? Well, I guess extracurricular activities maybe. Stage crew. This turned into a job later in life. Wow, that's so nice. I worked with a group of friends in a competition to 3D model and print a small car to race against other schools. This is so cool. I was in a pen spinning club and also in choir. I know who answered that one. Only tried fencing and football for a while back in the day. Damn. I did do origami club, art club / drawing, folk dancing in elementary school, then extra biology and debate club in high school, and of course volleyball in both high school and university. So a lot lol. The of course volleyball makes me wonder if this is volley. Maybe. Well, my school had this one kickboxing class, so I attended that for 2 months, and now I'm just doing badminton. Kickboxing in school, that's so cool. Again, I don't think I ever had like clubs in schools I was in, so seeing that like there were so many cool clubs that were doing out there is really, it's really refreshing. I wasn't a part of Scouts, but it's a big part in my school. Interesting. I had a friend in my school that was part of like that was part of Scouts, but that was not related to the school. So who else could that be? I wonder. Who knows? Some sports like football and judo. Chess club? No. Did I answer the questions from before actually? Lunchtime. Oh, I didn't answer that myself. For lunchtime, depends on the year, but I will usually go home to eat. But in high school, I also liked eating with people, so sometimes I will eat at the school cafeteria like once a week or so just to socialize, I guess. And for clubs, again, there were no clubs, but for extracurricular activities, so unrelated to the school, I did do quite a few things actually. I was in some kind of art workshop, which is how I got my pinky cut with like a cutter knife when I was like 12. What else? I did judo when I was really young, like for 1 year or so. I think there were a lot of sports that I tried and gave up on immediately. I did choir when I was young. I don't know if it counts. Probably that's it. What is or was your schedule like after school hours? Go to work. Oh my god. If not, sleep and play video games after completing the homework. Whoever answered this, damn, what a busy life. Take one on Mondays and Thursday. This will shift based on the schedule with GROTC. When I was younger, lunch, then TV until 4 p.m, then going out to play something till night dinner, sleep, high school TV, and playtime got replaced with prep classes. That's kind of bittersweet, but yo, you never had homework? Honestly, it's somewhat of a blur. Watching YouTube was a big part back then. Go home, get on the computer, and do literally anything until bedtime. Still do it to this day. Homework, play video games, or draw, eat, sleep. Hanging out with friends or at home, indulging in hobbies. Go home, review today's stuff, gaming time. Power walking immediately home if there's no assigned cleaning. Playing outside or playing on the computer. Tuition? My school put on these big stage productions and I was busy with that, so for most of my high school years. Ooh. Play games, homework, just kidding, probably playing around. That's so real, but sometimes homework, maybe in the earlier schools. That was so real. I felt that. Rest and sometimes homework. Varying. Most of the time, the extracurricular activities were like until 3 or 4 p.m, then getting food with friends at the mall, then heading home and studying. Wow, you had such a busy social life. I'm almost envious of that. Mostly studying, working, free time, going outside. Ending at around 5 p.m. and then gaming until 11 p.m. Damn. Just relaxing. If there was homework, I usually did it first after I got home. If there will be a test a day before, I'm guessing the day after rather, I usually spend 30 minutes on it so that everything is in my memory. If there was nothing, I spent all my time to my hobbies. And then outside of this, for my own personal answers, I think it depends on my school stages too, because that also depends on how late you get to the school, or rather how late you finish the school and how early you get home. Because when I was young, I do remember actually watching TV a lot. Like, I did watch quite a few cartoons here and there for, I think, a good hour. And then I would do the homework. And then I think the rest of my day would just go on with, like, playing or hobbies and stuff like that. But I think as I got more on the internet, I started changing my priorities, and I think that at some point I was less on TV, but I was more on the internet and less doing my homework and stuff. Guilty. I'm kind of like looking back, this is really far away from me, so I don't really remember my school, like my school days in detail very much. Like, I do remember times I didn't do my homework, for example, but I don't know how common that was, or if I just remember it because it was actually not common. So I don't, like, I'm kind of wondering, I will never know, but I wonder what was the frequency of me actually bothering to do my homework. Maybe it depended on the subject. And also, sometimes you do your homework, but just at inconvenient times, so I wonder. But honestly, starting, like, late middle school and high school, I don't think I was very good at prioritizing my time for that kind of stuff. I think I was just on the internet a lot / too much to prioritize anything else. Same. Yeah. But when I was younger, I think it wasn't as bad. But yeah. Embarrassing. At least I'm not alone in this. Thank you, Honey, for not making me feel alone. So, okay. Then the next question. How quickly did you usually handle your homework and assignment deadlines? That's kind of similar on that's kind of a similar topic. Always here to support you, thank you. So, yeah, it kind of is related to me, my question about how well I organize my time. So, most people actually either get it all done as soon as possible or 1 day or two before the deadline. So, still early enough, I guess. Quite a few people still get it done last minute, like literally the night of or the morning of the deadline. This is so funny. I just don't. Someone just does not do any homework ever. At least they're honest. Night before and day of the deadline. Unless I am wise, I will do it a few days before. I grew wiser later at university. I feel like quite a few people can relate to this. Wait, that was you today? Ah! Oh, sorry, my cat got a little too hungry, and ate the whole thing. Damn, I guess no more homework for me now. No! To get it done in the morning isn't living on edge enough. Doing it 10 minutes before during the class or not at all. Oh my god, some people are crazy! Honestly, I feel like I can relate to all of those because I think I got different phases where I did those. All of the answers, basically. Like getting them done literally as the person is picking up the homework. Do not follow this example. The morning of, the night before, very early too. Finding excuses as to why I didn't do my homework. I think it's rare that I actually found out there was something due on that day because surprisingly I did keep track of what I was supposed to do for the most part. But still. I don't think... I wonder what it will be like for me now. I guess in terms of my personal deadlines, I usually try to get them done as soon as possible. Because I don't want people to wait for their like commissions forever. I guess that's the best example I could have now. I try to get it done as soon as I can, rather than last minute. Either as soon as possible, or I don't think I will get it done. Like I will wait until it's 2 days before, But I wouldn't necessarily grind to finish it immediately either. But I will probably at least start working on it as soon as possible and gradually work on it. I think that's more reasonable for me. At least with how I work for commissions. But, you know, I think it's always different whether or not you're interested in the topic or the subject or the assignments you have. Like, I like drawing, so that's not too hard for me. But if it was a subject I really hated, had no interest in, didn't understand anything, I think I'll be dreading it and potentially procrastinating it, so it's hard to really know how I will act in this specific situation. So who knows. And now on the similar topic, how early did you study for tests and exams? Most people study the day before. Wow. I'm actually surprised by this. Not studying or vaguely check right before the exam is the second highest result. Damn. I had quite a few answers that seemed like people were rather studious, but now I'm like doubting you guys. Otherwise, studying as soon as the test is announced, 2 people answered that, or studying the night before, sleeping later than planned. It seems to be pretty balanced in the end. Like, we get around the same amount of results for any extremes. Otherwise, same as previous answer. I don't remember which one it was. Oh, probably, wait, that was due today? Or maybe it was one of the others, sorry. I don't remember. The night before and day of the deadline, perhaps. I don't know why, but I never understood the concept of studying, since most of the time I understood things. Then again, I also went through high school algebra. Never again. Welcome back, Meto! Study as close to exam as possible to minimize data loss. Big brain move right there, Binary. Yeah. I think some people have a harder or easier time to remember things. So I think it depends on that, probably. I study it during class if the teacher wasn't very engaging. So like during a class before? Ultimately, it's either study or suffer the consequences. Yeah, that's sounds about right. How does the grading system work in your school country? Because that too is so different depending on where you live. I got so curious. Please elaborate the scale of lowest to highest grade. So A is like 100 to 90%. B 89 to 80%. C is 79 to 70. D 69 to 60. F 59 to 0%. Wait, really? This is actually like F is actually much higher than I thought. Actually, I will expect D to be like around 50% because it's still considered like barely passing, but F is like technically more than 50%, and usually, at least for me, in the schools I've been in, 50% is passing. So the fact that above passing is still F is crazy. What scale does the Forbidden Schools use? You probably will see it in a bit, but I'll also elaborate after. But yeah, here you have to get 55% to pass. Wow. Regular schooling. 80 plus an 90 plus A. 80 plus B. 70 plus C. 68 plus D. 67 or lower F? This is so harsh. Oh my god. Big college was wild. A plus is 100 to 98. 97, no, 95 to 97 is A. 92 to 94 is A minus. 88 to 91 is B plus. 85 to 87 is B. 82 to 84 is B minus. 79 blah blah blah. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the... Okay, D minus. Oh, you don't have Fs though. God, this is very detailed, but I guess, yeah, there are some plus minus. Oh my god. This is crazy. Marks from 0 to 133 is passing. See, this is so different. Like some people, like passing is over 50, some are under 50. This is crazy. Anything under 67 was an F. What? Also, that's so specific. 67, not like 65 or... That's so weird. Like, this is so different. Oh my god. In school, each subject had a grade total of 100, and that maps to a letter, I believe A being the highest, and then the final grade you'd have in school would be out of 100. Okay? Preschool acad daycare for a 3 or 4-year-old, kindergarten to 5th or 6th grade is considered elementary school. I think this person didn't understand the grading system. I think they understood it as like classes and years and ages, but not like in exams. I guess I understand. I understand how the confusion happened. Sorry for the wording. I will word it better next time. From 0 to 20, this is what I'm used to as well. It changes from letter grading to percentages. 1 is the worst, 5 is the best pre-college, and then in college 5 is the worst and 10 is the best. Wait, why is 5 the worst? Why is 5 like, why do you not grade it from like 1 or 0? Yeah, first grade, second grade, and so on. Yeah. Sorry for the... I understood why it became confusing. Highest will be a 100 with the lowest being below 75! Otherwise known as a failure. What? This is so high. This is like you have to aim so high. Oh my god. This is not what I'm used to either. Oh my god, damn. Mid, whatever that means. 0 to 100 letter grading. Grades were set on a curve on an average for how well we did overall on the major tests or big projects. If the teacher was nice, they will also let us improve these scores with extra work. That previous one is from me. The mid or the other one? But let me read the one I was currently working on. In elementary and high school, you just get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, worst to best. Oh, that one. Okay, I see. And in college, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, maybe it's like when you as if you continue the other thing. That's still weird. It's kind of confusing, but I guess it just makes sense when you're there. When is the rules, like when is the setting that you're used to? I guess it just makes sense. Grades were... Wait, sorry, let me reread that because I don't think I paid enough attention. Grades were set on a curve on average how well we did overall on the major tests or big projects. If the teacher was nice, they will also let us improve these scores with extra work. That's cool. There was a number system where the expected level / number was the year level you are in. I don't know the highest level, but the lowest was 5. The number also goes up by 0.5. Okay, that's very specific. Up until high school, 1 to 6, 1 being best, and 1 with 1 minus, I guess, and 1, 2, for instance, being equivalent to 1.25 and 1.5 respectively. Afterwards, it's 0 to 15 points, with 15 being the best. This is so, like, it's so strange that, like, it's going the opposite way at some point. Like, when you change your school, like, when you get to a higher education, the system is kind of the opposite, with like the higher number being the more valuable or the more successful one. That's confusing. 0 to 10, as far as I'm concerned, I can't tell. I can't know if it changed. 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest. In uni, you get to 50% for a 2 mark, for example, but in high school, you get 3 with 50%. Oh, huh. That's a weird system. But I think most of the systems are gonna seem weird to me just because I'm not used to them. We go by the number percentage system. So for example, anything below 65% is a failing score. And 65 to 75 is a good grade to receive. And 80 to 100% means you scored great. Damn. This is so different. Grading on 20 points. From 1 to 6, 1 is the highest, 6 is the lowest. In Hungary, schools grade from 1 to 5. 1 is the worst and 5 is the best grade you can get. It's like all of them are like changing and everything. This is so... Imagine if you had to do like to grade things with all the different systems and you just die. I have absolutely no idea. That's fair. So here for the education I've been used to, it's also on a scale of 20 for some reason. I know it's kind of a weird scale, but yeah. Most of the exams, I think some of the higher exams are on a scale of 40 sometimes, but usually it was 20. And I think passing is basically 10, so like just 50%. But although like to pass your year, I'm not talking about stuff like university because I haven't been to those, but like for like middle school, high school, blah blah blah, I think you have to get a really low overall grade, like average score to have to repeat your year. Otherwise, I think usually even if you have less than 50%, you usually pass. I think it's more so if they see that first of all the parents are fine with it, and also if it could work, if it could be beneficial for the kid, I guess. Because unfortunately that's not always the case. But yeah. So usually 20 points will be the best score you can get and 0 is the worst. It's basically kind of similar to the... I was about to say to the scale of 100, but seeing the passing grades being kind of high on the scale of 100, I don't know anymore. But yeah. It's usually from 0 to 20. Sometimes it will be on the scale of 10, and sometimes it will also be on the scale of 15. But most commonly exams, tests rather, will be on a scale of 20. Have you ever practiced PE outside of school hours? And I'm so surprised that most people actually have. 14 people practice for PE outside of school hours. Music is loud. Thank you for telling me. Let me lower this. Is it better now? I don't know why I always expected people to not really try. to not do the effort, because most people don't take PE super seriously. So I didn't expect people to be practicing it outside of school hours. Damn. That's a kind of pleasant surprise, honestly. I don't think I ever did, but I think at most something I did in like, which grade was it? 7th grade, I think. We had some dance lessons where it wasn't like actual dancing, but you had to do certain like figures and stuff and make a choreography with a song of your choice, like based on that. And I don't know how, but somehow, despite being the only weeb in my group, we ended up going for a weeb song. I don't know how I convinced them, but cool. And I think at most we might have just discussed, like talked about what we could be doing for the choreography outside of school hours, but I don't think we ever practiced or anything like that. It's so weird seeing, I guess, not seeing not the score, like not seeing, oh my god, it's so weird not seeing the score 75% as the minimum passing score. You learn choreography. It was something. It was really scuffed. I almost wish it was recorded just so I can see how bad it was nowadays. Nowadays I could have come up with something more proper, probably. Okay. How How did you usually handle your group projects? What song was it? I'm not sure anymore. It was a Vocaloid song. I think it was Cendrillon. I'm realizing I might have taken the PE question a little too literally. Will martial arts count as doing PE outside of school? Well, if this is like practice for PE, because like I see how the question could have been understood differently, but basically what I meant when I asked the question is, let's say you're currently in PE learning, like studying or doing a specific sports, and eventually there will be a test on it. Did you ever in your free time do time outside of the school hours to practice that for your score? Yeah. But I see how you will think that just having sports outside of school can count as this. Okay, nothing like that. This is good for me to know that I have to word my questions differently. Sorry for the confusion. Speaking of PE, yes? My god, I hope I'll be able to finish the survey on time. We have only 1 hour left. I'm yapping too much. I can't believe I was doing forward and backwards rolls without breaking my freaking neck. Oh my god, I get that. I'm thinking about it nowadays and I'm like, holy crap, we just had to do it. Like sometimes we had to do several rolls in a row. How? Me at 87 right now? How? How is this possible? I get that. Alright. So how did you usually handle group projects? Most people just did a moderate amount. Some people did the speaking or a portion of the speaking. Most people, like not most people, quite a bit though. 5 did not speak at all, and 4 of them did all the work, and 2 people barely did anything and did the speaking. What else? I wound up doing most of the work after the motivation of the rest of the group fades. That's kind of sad. It honestly depends on the project at hand, but the choices selected are accurate. I never like group projects just because I don't work well with groups. I don't know how much I realistically did, to be honest. At least that's transparent. We've all suffered the have to do all the work myself issue. Group projects suck. I do the part that I'm assigned. In the past few years, I became very fond of doing the speaking presentation myself, but I also do a lot of work/preparation. Most of the time, I'm 30% involved in the project unless I'm being tasked to manage the project. We never did group projects in my school. Okay. So we did the same in martial arts, and it really came in handy whenever you fail. That's cool. Yeah, I think I heard about this. When you in martial art, you learn that when you fall, you can like save your fall by just rolling. I heard about this. For me, I think it also depended on the project. I don't think I ever had to do all the work. I will do a bit of I think I will do a bit of both speaking and a bit of work. Not a big amount, honestly. I think I was just doing the average amount. Quite frankly, I was not very motivated. But I want to believe that I never left all the work to a person though. I want to believe I did work to some extent. Oh yeah! Okay. That's a question I'm actually interested. If you had to do a presentation on any topic you want now, it can be in a group or solo, what would be the theme of your presentation? So let's see. Probably about all the funny things that are so strange in music history. Ooh. Improving train travel in the US. Maybe on how school should focus on providing more career options to students other than the normal ones. That's good. Very, very computer science theme, but programming languages. Shout out to my fellow CS majors out there. I've had too many subjects on random stuff pop into my head, such as video essay ideas, but nothing ever materialized. Mostly regarding sports or video games and subjects as a general sense. I've also thought of doing reviews on movie series I watch on occasion. Were your group mates always satisfied with you? I think they were neutral. I don't think they ever told me, "Oh my god, you did like the moss work, thank you," because that's not true. I never did that. I think it was neutral. I don't really have much memories on it, to be honest. So it's hard to tell. Either the history of rainbow symbolism around the world or color psychology. I feel like this is Thea. Putting me on the spot, probably culture. Putting you on the spot, but you had a full month to think about it. Contribution of rats to the health today. Is this you, Metal? Minecraft, because I have spent so many hours on this game. AI. I'd rather not. I don't like speaking and feeling the gaze of everyone on me. Graffiti and street art. Oh. I'm sure the history of graffiti and street art could be interesting. Specialty coffee and how to make a delicious cup of coffee at home. Okay. Okay, Spondy. How to ruin a sleep schedule. You failed the test. Probably something related to information technology or video games. Right now, something Pokemon related. In high school, we actually had 2 opportunities in English class to do so. For me, one was about memes and another about cocktails. Oh, that's cool. Actually, now that I think about it, in like 7th grade, I think we did get to do a presentation on whatever we wanted in English so that we could like learn to present something we liked. I have no idea what the hell I presented. I do remember there was a girl that made a presentation about Rihanna, but me, I don't remember. I think my best friend presented something about Rihanna. But me? What the hell could have been? Was it just about manga or something? Probably. Honestly, I feel like maybe just Japan manga. Something like that. Something like a weeb. An entire month. Meanwhile, I did this test on the last day. This on the last day. Only become aware of this yesterday. It's like school uni all over again. SMH. How Japanese can be a beautiful language and at the same time the worst thing humankind created. That's quite extreme. The Klaus process. Natural gas persisting to produce elementary sulfur. Wow. I'd make a presentation about the history of a company without using dry infos because that would be boring. Again, never had to do presentations here. I don't know what a typical theme will be. It didn't have to be a typical theme in this case since it's any you want. But I guess it's true that if you're not familiar with that, it can be hard to really know how to present something. I feel like this is gonna be extremely boring as an answer, but if I had to do a presentation now... Honestly, you can boo me for being extremely boring and predictable, but it probably would just be about VTubers. Like the VTuber phenomenon and explaining it a bit more because there are still people that think they're just AI for some reason. Talking about the culture and stuff. Boo! Yeah, fine, I get it. I get it. I can't blame you. I understand. But yeah, that probably will be... I feel like that will be an interesting thing to present. It's not my... Like, I mean, obviously I do have an interest in it, right? I'm literally a VTuber myself. But I think it's... Rather than me being passionate about VTubers in general, because I don't really watch streams all that much, I just find the phenomenon interesting. Can boo because I thought about that too. Thank you, Kancho. I'm glad we share the same brain soul. Handshake. Our brain cells right now are like shaking their brain hands. Alright. Oh my god. You know what? Actually, I'm very scared of whatever is gonna happen next. This is the guilty corner. Select all the school misdeeds you have committed and you will be judged by the chat later. Alright, this is time for you guys to boo everyone if you want. Or to approve of their misdeeds. So those are all the misdeeds that happened. So the biggest misdeed, which is not even the worst, but you know, 18 people arrived late out of 21. 13 people cheated on a test. I boo myself. Boo, 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 boo. 11 people skipped classes because they didn't feel like going to the class. Copied someone else's homework or assignment. Boo, boo. Oh my god, time to bring out my ghost photo. I wish I could bring it out, but I don't think I have it as an item. That would have been so funny. Wait, do I have it? Let me check. I do! Wait! I do have it. We're booing now. Booing stream. Where the hell? Okay, here. She looks really naked without the ribbons, but unfortunately I don't have it, so... yeah. Did any of these crimes affect the person that was plagiarized? I have no idea. Okay, what else do we have? 7 people got detention. 6 people got kicked out of the class. Woo! 5 people got suspended. And 2 people skipped classes to escape a test. I definitely did that. Well, I tried to be up. I was like, oh no, I'm sick. Yeah. And otherwise, we have some other stuff, and I feel like it could be the same person, honestly. But let's see what else was answered. Made a deal with a friend that we will trade off doing the math homework every other day except Friday, and then copy each other's work every year in high school. Work smarter, not harder. You know what? That's so smart. I wish I had a friend to do that with. As messed up as it is. And then... actually was a good guy, but alas. I got into some physical altercations, but nothing that could generally be considered a fight. Okay. Violence. Evaded PE with a passion, despite doing sport clubs or events, ironically. PE was... honestly, I wanted to get out of PE too. Provided a classmate answers without explaining the reason for said answer purposefully. Well, I mean, you know, it's better if the person gets to understand it. So by not telling them why, you might actually be setting them up, because then maybe the teacher will suspect that they don't actually know, so they will be asking, and then the person will be like, I don't know, I copied! And then, boom, exposed. I sung My Heart Will Go On in front of a class, a cringe memory I will never forget. Did it really have to be cringe? Depends on how it was perceived by the others. What was the context for singing? I'm so intrigued. I'm so curious. Is that spawned with a physical altercation? What makes you think that? I will also let other copy my homework too. Also, the detention was because I wasn't that good at sneaking back into the school after lunch yet. I got better at it. Alright, what was the context? Yeah, I'm so curious about the singing. With the drastic consequences of this exact question, my lawyers have advised me to not answer that question. You know what? Valid. Fair. You will protect yourself while you can. But remember that I have a third eye and a third arm, most importantly, that will see it. And then we have... I was dropped from a subject, like I wasn't allowed to be in a class or study it anymore? I'm not sure if this belongs in the guilty corner. Even though this was a punishment, I didn't deserve it at all. What? I mentioned my mental disabilities. One of them is that I struggle immensely to write even the simplest of sentences. The teacher didn't like that. That's so messed up! At first I thought you did something really bad or something, but... That's... I never know how to word this, but... That's... Ableism? Ableism? I don't know how to say it, but like that's pretty much discrimination at this point. I'm really sorry that you got this. Yeah, I wouldn't say you belong to the guilty corner because this was not even your fault. That sucks. Horticulture. Is horticulture like plants? The study of plants? Right. What the hell? I'm really sorry to hear that. The redemption corner. The first answer is not starting well. Moogie! Happy 14 months! Was stuck in a meeting. Can't believe I missed 3 hours of Glasses Chi. She came a bit later, so actually it's only been like 2 hours. And don't worry! The Chi model will be back for the future stream, so you'll get to see her from now on. Yay! Hi, and thank you for the 14 months once again. Welcome! Okay. We don't need to boo anymore, but the final boo just for the sake of the model being there. Boo! The tracking is awful. Boo! Alright. To the trash we go. Boo hoo hoo. No, it just sounds like we're crying. Boo hoo hoo. Alright. Now the good corner. The redemption corner. Please write any good deeds you have done for at school to amend for your sins. Can be academical, social, or other. You can also see this as your flex corner, even though some people clearly did not wait for this corner to do it anyway. And no, I'm not salty or anything. I'm not jealous that people are smart. Alright, anyway. Alright. Lol. Alright. Turned around the entire ROTC program with the battalion commander and officers to go from blue star to gold star. 89% rating. Oh my god! That's Kancho, isn't it? Let's go, Kancho! You're crazy. Congratulations. I'm proud! I'm proud! Oh my god, I wish I had a model to like headbutt you. Wait, I have a hand, I think. I have a random arm lying there. Wait, no, I don't have a random arm, sorry. You have to believe that I'm head patting you. Wait, I can do that actually. Wait. Here. Where's Kancho? Kancho! Good job! Head pat! Yosh, 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 yosh. I forgot where you are. Somewhere. Yay! Alright. Damn, congrats! We used to win all the local football tournaments. That's all I got. That's still great. Congratulations. I don't know who answers what. I'm sorry. I just recognize Kanjo because of the stuff, but congratulations whoever it is. Imagine that I'm head patting you, okay? Good job. I was well behaved in class and didn't cause problems. Good job. I somehow ended up in talented and gifted, somehow was decent at volleyball. During homecoming week, played the quads in a band, 4-tuned drums without snares, which I basically improvised almost everything. Is this you, Volley? Is this you? We want headbutts too. Is this you? Say if it's you, and then I'll do it. That one was not me. Your volleyball statement was taken from me. Can you believe that? I don't know who it was, but yay! I'm headbutting a random person. I think that's Mitchell. Let's imagine that it was the right person. No, wait, I'm stupid. Wait. I could have just done that. Wait. Yay! I'm headbutting this comment, and then this comment, and then this comment. Yay! Okay, that's gonna be easier so that no one is left I'll get my time to shine, of course, of course. Okay. I was a calm and attentive student among a lot of noisy students, I guess. Good job! Okay. Hi, Kyle! Now it looks like you're about to kick us. No! That's not what I meant. Oh god, okay. Other than winning a few sport events and somehow getting good grades and all the stuff, not much else. Good job! Good job! Good job! Good job! Good job! Good job! Alright. I'm at work, I can't hear anything. Good luck with work! I haven't done much for schools themselves, but I help my fellow students in almost every subject, and in fact, I got to help people from other schools not to fail the year. Also, one time I distracted our physics teachers with some topics, so we ended up not having oral exams that day. I love that. Good job! You're a good classmate! Good job! Good job! Good job! Proud of you. I have to keep like switching from one thing to the other. Oh, thank you, Mitchell, for transferring my voice to the chat. I appreciate it. Help my classmates to understand a lesson or topic for some reason, mostly in math. Good job! You saved people from the math trauma! Yay! Good job! Good. Kyle doesn't know why you randomly start floating and shaking at times. It's okay. He can have his own interpretation. I'm sorry, but I don't remember if I do a good deeds. Nothing! I was my chemistry teacher assistant, so I got a lot of opportunities to get out of class and walk around helping her. She likes Coldplay. I suck at chemistry, though. Wait, how come you became the assistant? I wonder what is the explanation for this. I'm so intrigued. I talk to the kids no one else talked to. Good job! Thank you for giving them some of your time and making them feel not completely alone. Sometimes having someone that talks to you, even if you're not friends, still makes a big difference. Then, I will try to be helpful where I could. You know what? Even from just trying. Good job! I never bullied anyone. That's... I don't know if I could say this is a good deed. This is like basically you not committing a crime. But good on being nice. Then, organizing an amateur volleyball practice that's open to students. I also used to go to math and biology competitions and finish in a top spot grade that made a good name for the school. Is that you, Volley, this time? Is it you? Is it you? Should I find your Moonster? How many people? No, that is me. Okay, where the hell are you? Let me see. Ah, I found you. I found you. Wait, I see you walking with the bread. That's you. Good job! Grabs you. Good job! That's great. Damn, what a flex. I'm not surprised. But still. Alright. Hello, Mamian! Welcome! Okay. Well, I didn't remind the teacher we had homework that one day. Help someone with their homework. I guess. I don't really have a lot of accomplishments. Oh well, at least I had a good time. That's all that matters, I guess. Good job! Good job! Good job! Good job! Good job! Good job! That's so aggressive. I hate school. I regret nothing. Glad college was interesting enough to land a job I like. Yay! Congratulations on that. No good deeds, just evil, like my idol lunacyhilly. No headpads for you. I mostly had to clean the entire classroom, which included everything. Cleaning the floor, removing chewing gum stuck to chairs or tables, or simply moving any trashes to the bin, wiping the chalkboard, changing trash bags to a new one, etc. Good job! I don't know why this was your responsibility, especially because, God, like in school people can be so freaking dirty. Like the chewing gum. I want to die just reading this, but honestly, respect to you. Thank you for making the environment clean. Good job, super good job, and a lot of respect to you. Oh my God. Good job. Thank you for making the environment a bit better. Not reminding teacher about homework or tests is pure lawful good. I don't think I did anything I'd call a good deed, so I guess I don't deserve redemption. I can't confirm or deny the allegations. But I feel bad, so okay. That sounds like what they made us do that one day I actually had detention. Can we call your streaming your good deed? Me? Me? I don't know. I'm just reading your stuff and using it for content. I didn't even come up with the content myself. Well, I guess I came up with the questions, but wouldn't have been interesting if no one filled the form. Wait, so what does that mean? Are people gonna pet me? Wait, you know what? I can make that happen. I can make that happen. I can get a head pet too. Wait, I forgot. Yeah, there's a head pet toggle, right? Anyone gonna head pet me then? Did I deserve it? Otherwise, I was gonna make Chi do it for me with her little hands. Yay! Thank you. Oh, okay, let me take off the beret for Chi. One sec, I need to block it for my own model. Ta-da! Let me know if I missed any other thing for Chi, because oh, glasses too. Okay. Okay, one sec. Glasses should be this. Ta-da! Wait, did the puppy toggle get there? I don't remember, now that I think about it. I don't think I ever made her the puppy toggle. No, I did. I see it. Okay, let me know if I missed anything. Okay. Alright. Teachers can really influence our relationship to the things we learn. Some can make us hate or love certain subjects. This is your opportunity to talk about your favorite teacher! Oh, the dog one. One sec. Ta-da! If you had any. What kind of teacher are or were they? What subjects did they teach? Did you have a good specific good experience with them that you would like to share? For safety reasons, please don't share their full name. A letter will suffice. Okay. Let me actually drink first. And then I'll... Also, I think my Tamagotchi is probably gonna ask for help soon. But we're almost done, so we're almost done with the form. Although maybe the text will be a bit long for this. Okay, so Professor R was able to teach how to make differences and harmonize them, even if you had strong opinions. That's so cool. This makes me happy to hear like about teachers that really bring good influences and good impacts on people. Mrs. D. Oh, what happened? Why am I smaller? Here. There we go. Hello, freshmen. Okay. Mrs. Z. Oh, she was my math teacher and vice principal of my school. No. Yeah, my school was super strict and used to read kids like a book. Like, she will just question your motives and thoughts. In short, I was struggling at math for the first time at first year in high school and asked my parents, I need some help. And they were like, we know someone. Turns out she was my neighbor when I was 5 years old and my parents knew her all along, so Then I started going to her house for help, and she was a completely different person outside of school. Always smiling, taught me a lot about life. Short story, I was so afraid of going to her house on the first day that I was planning to run away for the first few hours and thinking of how to lie to my parents that I'm going there to study for a few years. Damn. I'm glad. It's kind of nice to see, like, you know, people that work, like adults that work in school, that can be sometimes a bit intimidating, that also are just, you know, human beings with like fun things too. I'm glad you got to experience a good side of this vice principal and that she was able to help you with your math. That's kind of a funny story. My high school art teacher was great. The two science teachers were always nice to talk to as well. Talk with, sorry. My favorites though were an English teacher, I, and my high school history teacher, as well as homeroom. I loved my first year of high school math teacher. She only stayed 1 year in our school, but she was really nice and encouraging. After her, I got math teacher who wouldn't really help you understand math, and I got really bad grades for the first time ever. No! Again, really proving that teachers can really make or break the subject for real. I'm sorry about the person that came after, but I'm glad you had a nice teacher for the first year. Ironically enough, one of the best teachers I had was a German teacher in high school, Mr. A. He really went out of his way to help us learn and fix the mistakes of past teachers. Oh, he only taught us in the last year, but maybe if he had been with us sooner, I could have been talking to my German friends in German now. Also, unfortunately, he got set up by a jealous professor and got accused of something he didn't do, so he resigned from teaching. That's so messed up. That's really sad. I'm glad he was able to be a positive impact for you though. The end really sucks though. But I'm sure that looking back he will be grateful to know that you made such he made such a positive influence for you. He had such a, yeah, he made, either he made such a positive impact or he had such a positive influence. Sorry, my sentences are really dying. Okay. Miss is my homeroom teacher and a subject teacher for ICT, and she is the one that influenced more on, I'm guessing the one that influenced me into being a programmer. That person was actually related to the accident of the previous generation that made us not able to go to a trip abroad. No! I can vaguely imagine what the whole thing was. But god, that sucks. I'm really sorry to hear that. Life skills class was pretty nice. Mrs. K was nice and friendly even though she has distant royal blood in her. Wow, okay. That's I'm sorry, like, you know, they're real people too, but that's kind of a fun, like, crazy fact that, like, just crazy low dropped right there, right now. We did things from cooking, carpentry, farming, sewing, etc. My chemistry teacher was nice. Just like our science lab since it has huge... I just like our science lab since it has huge windows and fans, so it was really nice for sleeping. It's very hard to stay awake while being there. My favorite teacher was Mrs. S. She was my writing teacher for an advanced course. I didn't belong in that class as it was far too hard for me, but she encouraged me to stay. My grades weren't really good, but she gave me a lot of leeway and extra worksheets so my grade wouldn't go down. I learned a lot in that class and tried really hard. Happy I did since it gave me the confidence I needed for university and college. That's great! And it's nice that she was encouraging you despite the difficulty level being too high for you at the time. My music teacher, Mr. F, was the best. I chose music as one of my main subjects in high school, even though I didn't play any instrument, and honestly, without him, I probably would have ended up hating it. But he was an amazing teacher and human being, and even though our class was pretty diverse in character, we all loved him dearly. That's so sweet! I don't know why, like, just hearing about, like, people having such nice feelings for their teachers makes me super happy. I'm sure they will be so happy to read that too. My English teacher, Mr. D, in elementary, and my German teacher, Mr. N, in high school. They were both laid back and fun, and they made the classes fun, but they also cared about teaching. Mr. D always had some fun games and activities that helped us learn in different ways, like debating in groups in the schoolyard, or having us bring in YouTube videos based on topics. Fun fact, the German teacher taught my sister all 4 years of high school, and now she's living in Germany comfortably for several years. Damn! Damn, what a cool teacher he was. That's really cool. I wish I had your teacher. Okay. Sorry, I forgot. Did I read the whole thing? I don't remember if I did. I'm gonna read it again just in case because I don't remember it very well. Mr. D in elementary and German teacher Mr. N in high school, both laid back and fun, and they made the classes fun but also cared about teaching. Mr. D always had some fun games and activities that helped us learn in different ways, like debating in groups and schoolyard, or having fun us bringing in YouTube videos based on topics. Yeah, right, I did read everything. That's really cool. That's a nice creative way to keep I'm gonna sound like an old hag, but like that's a nice way to keep the youth engaged and interested in your class too, because you also try to make things work in formats that they are more familiar with and used with and like comfortable with, and it's also bringing more freedom for them too. So I think that's really cool. I know that my previous teacher was an awesome mentor who taught a lot of important things that there is to know that others wouldn't even bother wasting their breath on. And I thank her for that. She's a helpful, amazing teacher that will never give you up. Okay, I know exactly what this is. Screw you. Really how every mentor should be, but unfortunately it isn't always the case. But either way, sorry. I would like to thank the teachers out there that will never turn a blind eye to others in need. Great people in general. It's true. lunacyhilly, please don't ban me. It's fine, I said it first. As long as you don't say that every stream, then it's gonna become random. I really like some teachers, but never enough to enjoy the class. The best one is a French teacher that let me play my PSP during class and wouldn't care. I've used a lot of brain power already, so I'm just gonna skip. That's fine. I feel like there was something I wanted to react to or read or comment on, but I don't remember what it was. Sorry, I just hope I didn't skip something like that actually answered the question. I mean, hopefully I got it right. But yeah, that was great. Thank you everyone for answering your cool questions about the teacher. And now we're getting to the final one. That's a great teacher. Which one? The one letting the person play the PlayStation? I feel like this one is like kind of like they gave up, and that's kind of sad. Anyway, thank you for all of your answers. As a final question, feel free to share an anecdote from your school days. It can be a funny memory, something wholesome, etc. Please keep it TOS friendly. And I should have wrote it there, but I think it was kind of implied from this to keep it positive, but I hope that it worked out. Written on a scantron in college, if those who blog are called bloggers, those who journal called journalists, are those who use Twitter called twits? Professor's response sounds valid. I like when teachers are just like going along with it. Thank you for the reading, Moogie. I'm gonna drink. Okay. And I have untrimmed. Thank you. Okay. Honestly, I don't remember all that much from... Okay. Allow me to do this since it's the final answer anyway, not the final category, and then we'll be fully dedicated to it. My god. Poor little guy is struggling. Okay. Time for some games. Suspense! What will the answers be? I wonder. Actually, my Tamagotchi is playing along with me. He's my assistant. He's making sure that we have some little breaks and moments of suspense so that not everything is shared too fast. He's a smart little one, you see. What would I do without this Tamagotchi? One moment. I have 2 more games to play, but I'm trying to do them quickly. Okay. Okay, last one if I win. But I usually do. But now that I said that, I'm gonna jinx it for real. I'm cooked, guys. I'm cooked. Frick. I have to play again. I'm cooked. Wait, I have to play again. Sorry. Of course I jinxed it. Of course I should not have talked. Okay, this time it's good. Okay, there we go. Is it full? Okay. Thank you for waiting. My bad. This shall be the last time you hear him today. So, let me read the second message again because it got interrupted. I don't remember all that much from school that's really worth talking about. It was just something I existed through for the most part. Maybe the only thing of note was how I went to the homecoming dance as a freshman, 9th grader, and spent almost all of it speaking with a teacher who had been assigned to take the money at the door. I never went to a school dance again. I got the most fun and happy times in the second school I did during higher education. It was a multimedia school in Belgium and my classmates were so nice and helpful. I miss them. I hope that you can find a way to catch up with them if you had such a nice experience, if you're not still in touch with them. But time to message them right now. Did you have a teacher that just begrudgingly despised or just plain not wanted you around? I sure had one. It was so fun to always arrive in that class just to witness them seethe with frustration. That's so weird. Like, not your message, but just teachers being so, like, obsessed with children. But, like, in a pity way, like, being mad at them. That's... I can't understand that. Our college professor would let us know that he will come one class late, so my friend and I went to a local cafe to kill some time. Just to find the professor chilling there! That must have been such a funny surprise. He was a good sport about it though, and he even told us what to expect on the What the hell? That must have been funny. I am surprisingly sneaky. Whenever I come up behind a certain classmate, they sometimes think I'm teleporting. I think this was pretty funny. It seems pretty funny. During the final year of elementary school, I always arrive at school before the sun rises. There's plenty of time for things to do. During my final year, they were building a new school block. Wow, so there were huge holes. My class being the highest floor, I would fold paper airplanes and throw them. Some even landed into the holes. Oh my god. Besides that, we will go ghost hunting. Oh my god. On the school bathroom since it's dark and because of remorse. My god. I didn't even know people actually had remorse like that. Elementary was fun because it's chaotic and there was Children's Day. Middle school is when everything gets more serious and less fun. The classmates I had for my year before last were nice. Hope you could catch up with them if you had good memories with them. I had this one friend that shared the same first name as me, so we came up with this really elaborate, over-the-top handshake that we will always do when we'll see each other in the hall. That's kind of cute. It's so funny how sometimes you just have bonds with people that are based on something really not deep, if that makes sense. Like, you connect over something really simple. In this case, like just sharing the same name. Maybe if it weren't for that, you wouldn't really have talked to each other. Maybe you still will have, but like, it's funny how sometimes all it takes is something really simple and sometimes something kind of silly to just start something great. I found that kind of cute. I unlocked memory of my friend who used to teleport all the time. Oh my god. Maybe your friend is in my chat. We had to do a queue to start. and it was used to get our attention, but we didn't like it at the start. The way the cue to start worked was that the teacher will say something and then the students will reply. One of my teachers made our cue to start. Cue to start sucks. When some people came in to see how things were going with the new changes, the teacher asked us to be extra enthusiastic with the cue to start when they arrived. He was a fun teacher. That's pretty fun. God, some teachers can really be cool. One time, our normal teacher was sick. Normally, a substitute teacher will let us do whatever, but the one we got was known to be a bit strict, and she gave us an exercise. We of course didn't do it, and when she came back to check on us, I was sitting on my desk with a friend. She immediately said, "That's not how good high school students act," and I immediately went on to discuss with her how she determines someone to be a good high school student. It was a long discussion, and my classmates told me I did well standing up to her, but the day after, I felt kinda bad for discussing it, so I went to the teacher's room to apologize to her. She was really happy that I did, and ever since that day, she will always greet me with a smile, even though I never actually got her as a teacher. Join the debates club. In high school, we liked Mr. N, my German teacher, so much that we always collectively bought him presents for his birthday or Christmas, and he always liked them so much. He also played drums in the school band called Ko Says Moo, and we designed a shirt for him based on it for Christmas, and he wore it for their next performance. That's so wholesome! That's so cute! That's so sweet. Oh my god, okay, let's see. Here's something I used to always remind myself when it was my first time starting out college. When choosing a major, don't pick what others are choosing for themselves. Oh, so this is an advice kind of, I guess, section maybe? Don't pick what others are choosing for themselves. They chose it for a reason, and you're just going to go with the flow. Then you're going to reach a point when you're making more regrets than good decisions. Find what you are good at, basically your interest, and go forward with that. Also, when looking at things, I guess, research about it, the pros, the cons of what you're choosing, and if you feel like you know them enough, go for it. Don't get a certain degree entirely just for the big bucks. First, you have to be real and upfront with yourself if you can mentally handle it, because when you start working, you'll be required to work a lot. For example, lawyers, doctors, engineers, bankers, etc. You have to like what you picked to be able to handle what will come out of pursuing a certain thing to major in. If I never wrote this down, then I would have chosen something completely different down the line. It's always good to do your research about stuff. Okay. So this was more of an advice situation. Lots of stuff going through my mind, but too lazy. I'll just say that my personal record of days without going out is around 162 days because I was having homeschooling for some years and nothing to do outside. Country, Nigeria, security low enough to have to take a driver and an armed guard to do some shopping. Damn, that's such a different lifestyle. To the last day of middle school, me and some classmates put a fish behind every school board. The school was smelling so much from fish. Oh, you put a real fish? That multiple people puked after smelling it. What the hell? In the end, the school got evacuated and nobody knows who did the fish prank to this day. Oh my god. This could actually have been dangerous. If you just put an actual, like, just raw fish like that. I guess it sure is a memory though. And surely I know this doesn't come from harm, but damn. I feel so bad for the people that got sick from it. And that was it, guys. That was it for the school thing. Fish equals snow day? What? I don't understand what that means. But yeah, that was it for the survey. Thank you everyone for taking a part of it. Oh, surprise day off. Yes. Well, I think for us it depends on how much snow days we got. Hi Chloe! You're right on time for the end. I should block the rates 1 sec. here. But yeah, oh my god, that was something. Let me move back here. Thank you everyone for taking part of this survey. I don't have the icon ready in the Discord role either, so I have to do that. I'll probably work on it tomorrow or later today. So patience if you filled the form and your role isn't there yet. Wait for it. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, True. God, I did not think it will take 4 hours to get through everything. Not gonna lie. Like, I checked the VOD from the other survey and it was not as long. It was like an hour and a half or something, I think. Or 2, maybe? So I was like, this is fine. But... oh, but actually, wait. Oh yeah, we restarted the stream. I was like, why does it look like... why does it look like we only had 2 hours and a half? But it's because we restarted the stream. I'm too late. I hope you had fun. Yeah, it was nice. We checked a survey that people took part of. I'm gonna try to see if I can make a survey for the spooky month. Hopefully, if I make one, I can release it this month. And then you guys can fill it up if you want. And if I do though, it's probably not gonna be like, it's gonna be probably checked on October 30. So don't expect it to be for Halloween or November. I'm probably gonna have it read on Thursday, October 30. I don't know if this is possible on your end, but on my end, because I'm stopped, the stream can be rewound now if you wanted to watch some of it. I think overall my account is not set to be like, you don't need to be subscribed to watch the VOD anyway. But yeah, no worries. You don't need to watch the VOD, but if you want, it's available. Wait, I think I missed some comments. I just want to make sure. Yeah, no, actually we're good. I really had fun today and I could be here the whole time. Yay! There is VOD. Thank you. You're welcome. But I don't know. I don't know how interesting it is as a VOD. But yeah. So tomorrow, as a reminder, I'll be back in the morning. We'll be doing some art. I'll also be working on the certificate for silence. And if I'm not done with the role for the survey yet, I'll be working on it tomorrow too. Got some other art to work on, so just a lot of stuff planned. I wish everyone had fun. Yay! I personally did. But also I talked for like non-stop for like 4 hours. My voice is already dead. I'm not used to talking that much, especially after a break. But it was fun. Thank you for taking part of this survey as always. I hope you enjoyed filling it out and checking the answers. I'm looking forward to making the next one. Thank you for the hydration, Hone. I'm probably not gonna be rating anyone today, but I'll be rating starting tomorrow, so look forward to that. Sorry, I was drinking. And we had 3 Tamagotchi cameos. Yeah, my aging Tamagotchi. Alright. With that said, I wish you guys a super nice rest of your day, or night, or evening, whatever your time zone is. And see you tomorrow! Bye bye! I'm so glad that the model is running well and that I can even have the Chi one. She's so cute. Look at her just being a little thing. She's just so cute. Alright. But on that note, I'm out. I'm out! So, see you tomorrow, guys! Take care! Bye bye!